Said it's going to start at 7:05. There we go. I got an ad playing. Looks like we're starting up. There we go.
Yeah.
Good morning. Oh. Week 13, guys.
Good morning.
Week 13, we're getting there.
We made
Come
it.
on, everybody.
Some people's playoffs might start next week. You might start seeing some teams clinching, the little clinch marker next to your name. If you're playing fantasy, your team might clinch this week. It's very possible.
That it is.
Oh, let's start it off right, guys. Low-key, bust heads, Heidenreich. Everybody that's already here this morning, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning to you, Nunya and MIA.
Yes, sir. Heidenreich. Young NY. Low key.
See you guys.
All right.
We got it going this morning. If you can, you guys, we're just starting a new stream here. If you can, please remember to hit that like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel out for us, and it'll help us bring a couple more people in here to watch the old fantasy show. Plus, it does a great thing for the Bulldog trading overall. So, if we can, let's hit that like and subscribe. Did you guys have a good week?
What's up, William guy?
Fantastic week, kinda.
Yeah.
You know?
Good football week.
Good
The
football
market,
week, yeah.
Not so much.
Right. All right, I'm bringing our cameras in here, guys. Sorry. There we go.
What's up, William guy? TikTok. Robin.
Robin, whatever. Good morning. Tick tock, tick tock. William guy. Caesar C.
User C.
Look, everybody's out here. Caesar's got a 7 for us. He's picking numbers already. He's trying to win.
Yeah, Caesar's like, hey, every time I put something on when MIA's in, I win a contest. I'll just throw a random number out there. Maybe I won.
Wouldn't you know it? Caesar C just won a T-shirt. No. It's a pretty good week this week. A lot of news in the football world. We're going to go over a lot of it. There's a lot of weird sit and starts this week that are going to be happening. Watch the Twitter feed there. You'll see a little bit of the info going across. But to get started, you guys want me to pop up weather? We can take a look at that. I thought we were going to
pop up weather and maybe talk about the buys. Say good morning to Michael R. and John Rion.
Good deal. Let's do that.
Hey, Michael R., you too have a blessed day, my friend. Appreciate that. That's a good, not even a good, that's a great way to start off this Sunday.
All right. So, looks like we're going to have some real football weather this week in a lot of places. I'll start with that Patriots-Bills game. I know everybody's been paying attention to that one. It's possibly going to snow up there, but now they're saying it may not snow. It'll just be overcast and 29. I still don't take that as a fact. I think it might still get some snow. Hopefully.
Yeah, the way the weather changes around here, the way the wind affects that stadium. And I'll tell you guys from a local standpoint, a lot of the chatter, people have kind of, I wouldn't say turned on Josh Allen, but a lot. So a new stadium has been in the talks here, right? And now you're seeing the Bills fans turn into, unless they build a dome, Josh Allen isn't the quarterback for the Bills, because we seen what happened that rain game with Indianapolis. He looked like crap. Possible if there's any kind of, I think they're better off if it snows for Buffalo. I think if it rains, they're in trouble because New England showed that they could play in the rain. And that did you guys see that stat on Jones over there?
No, huh?
He's currently throwing the highest percentage of catchable balls in the NFL, which is kind of ridiculous for a rookie to be doing that. I don't know where they get these stats, who judges if it's a catchable ball or not. I'm sure somebody's getting paid a over amount to keep track of stuff like that, but that stat's actually out there. And
Amazon. Next door.
It's probably some AI, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I think that's a huge matchup. I don't think we could ask for a better Monday night matchup this week.
I was going to say, there's a lot of fantasy players in this matchup on the Bills side, and some people are playing a lot of the New England players, but for the most part, this is for the AFC East going forward, basically. That's what makes it a huge game.
And potentially the AFC, you know what I mean? Potentially leading to that with only one bye this year, that number one seed, I think, has a lot more value. William Guy going to rip some motocross today. Awesome. Be safe, my brother. And have fun. YOLO.
We got a question yet? No? Oh, sorry. It's checking in. All right, so let's go over a couple more of these. Cincinnati Bengals are playing the Chargers at home. That's Nunya's neck of the woods. You guys looking at some decent weather today?
It's cold.
Just
cold. Really cold, but no precip at all.
Any wind?
John Rion, I see that. We will take care of that. So Odie does the payouts. We'll get you on that poker.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Any wind over there today very much? Saying 7 miles an hour. Not too much.
Yeah, so far it's bitter cold.
Chargers had problems with their kickers all season. So if it does get windy there, I'd be looking for a lot of 2-point conversion attempts in that game for the Chargers offense. Vikings Lions in the Dome. We don't really need to talk about that one. We kind of already know who's going to win that game is also. Broncos Chiefs. That got moved to Sunday night tonight. I can tell you right now, it's not going to be too great of a game in the evening, as weather's going to deteriorate all day here in Kansas City and move towards a more cold and possible mixed weather. So we could be paying attention to that late into the game. There might be a sleet mixture or something later this evening here in KC. Giants at Dolphins. It's Miami. It's December. It's going to get humid and warm. Ball could be slippery down there. Daniel Jones is out on that game. We'll get into that more later on. But yeah, Eagles. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, definitely we'll get into that. Eagles Jets up in East New Rutherford or New Rutherford, East New Jersey. I can't remember how you say that one, but yeah, Eagles Jets game going to be 42 degrees, mostly cloudy, no wind. There's always wind in that stadium, so we got to be prepared for that. If you got a kicker for the Eagles, or if you notice, one Jalen Hurts is another quarterback we'll be talking about who's out today. So be ready for the Philadelphia backup of one Gardner Minshew. We're going to be talking about that.
Minshew Mania.
Mm-hmm. Colts at Texans, dome game. Washington at Raiders in LA or in Las Vegas is going to be a dome game. Nothing to worry about there. Jaguars Rams, another dome game. And then you got the Ravens and the Steelers. That's going to be another one of these huge games, I think, kind of almost like that AFC East game on Monday night. This is one of those games that if the Ravens win, they're basically setting the tone in their division because they already, they're up one game up, I think, on Cincinnati right now. So I have to keep an eye on that one. And 49ers Seahawks. And we got a lot of the 49ers gang here at the Bulldog Trading Fam. Not too many Seahawks fans. But 49ers are looking to basically take second place and hold on to second in the West, I think? Or will they overstep the Rams if they win tonight? I got to look into that myself. But what are you guys' thoughts on some of those games? I kind of took the mic there for a little bit. Go right ahead.
Oh, I think you explained them all pretty perfectly. A lot of big games today. A lot of the schedule has big division games coming up in the next 3 weeks. So, yeah, I think you.
Oh, we got to communicate better with these Bulldog payments. So Brian Joel got paid out twice now. Take away 25 now.
Everybody out there, just be aware, especially going into playoffs. You always should know, but bye weeks this week: Carolina, Cleveland, Green Bay, and Tennessee. Please don't get stuck with a zero in your lineup. Check your lineups, especially kickers and defenses. It's easy to leave them out. Please check.
Is this the last week for buys?
I believe next week is the
last
week. I may be wrong. I know week 14 has buys, but I think it's week 15 is the final bye week with 2 teams. I think I might be wrong.
Okay.
Week 14 is Indy, Miami, New England, and Philly. And week 15,
2 teams on week 15
is nobody.
Oh, week 14 is the end of buys. Playoffs will begin in week 15 for most people.
Yeah.
So you'll have all your players back before the playoffs, but be careful these next 2 weeks because you want to lock your playoff position up. So stay strong and make sure you're checking your rosters these next 2 weeks. I know I'm out on a couple leagues already. Like, I know I can't make playoffs, so I'm doing my hardest to play spoiler. I'm going to try and make sure I got some rosters out there. If I'm playing some good teams, I want to knock off some good teams and ruin their season since they already ruined mine.
Yeah.
And just keep the integrity of the rest of the league okay. Just because you're out doesn't mean you should leave your roster empty
Or
and you
trade
may ruin
off
somebody else's entire season. Just because
See,
you're not paying attention.
what we do in my big money league is the last 5 weeks of the season, we do the weekly winner with the high points gets like $50 or something,
nice.
Just to keep everybody, even if you're out of it, it keeps people setting their lineups and everything.
That's pretty cool. We could possibly do something like that next year with bull coins. We'll have to talk about something like that.
Yeah, it keeps, like I said, it keeps everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, or like I know some bigger leagues do like a bottom, like a playoff with the bottom half of the league. Something like that. I know my buddies are in this huge league where they do a toilet bowl to determine absolute last place, and then that guy has to buy pizza and wings at the draft the next year.
It's kind of like the ethics of the league too. And since we got a rookie league, I guess
Yeah.
we kind of mention this, that if you're going to play, you always start a roster. You don't trade away your team at the 3/4 mark of the season because you're losing and you want to help somebody else win a championship. You know, you keep playing your team, you have fun. Next year might be your year. But, you know, not everybody can win every year, only one winner. So I always get mad at people when I'm playing with a big league or something and you see like 3 teams like drop out and they just, I'm 5-7, it's over, and they just stop playing players and stuff. And it's like, dude, why'd you even play then? Because now you just gave the championship away. Now somebody's going to ride 3 free weeks, you know, and ride themselves to the championship that doesn't deserve it. So I'm big on that. But it is ethics of the sport, so, or the game, you know. Hutz is my backup to Kyler. I hope Kyler plays, Caesar says. Yeah.
Everything looks
looking
like
that
he's
way.
going to play. And
We're seeing
coming off of a bye, been out for, 3 weeks? So he had a whole month off pretty much.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm killing the coffee this morning.
How's that game looking? What's the weather looking like there?
That Arizona
Chicago.
game. Well, is Arizona on a bye this week?
No, they're playing in Chicago.
In Chicago, it's a 1:00 game too, so that's west going east.
Why don't I see it on our weather list there?
It'd be the very top game. That's how it's listed.
Maybe I've got it chopped off there. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm looking now and I can't see a weather update on it on my screen. Like not on what you're never mind.
Right, no, I got what you're saying. Yeah. Is it in Chicago or in Arizona? I'll have to go
It's in Chicago, yeah.
In Chicago.
Hey, I can tell you right
you know,
now that the north winds are coming through the Mideast or the Midwest. That they're pressing down, bringing cold air. So Chicago could be. I don't know if it's going to be cloudy or rainy, but I would expect it to be windy in Chicago today. If it's going to be windy in KC, because that stuff's, you know.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be windy, cold.
We're in December. We really shouldn't be looking at 60-degree temps very much of the rest of the nation for the rest of the football season.
Okay, Chicago, rain, 38 degrees, 19-mile-per-hour winds out of the southeast.
Oh, that's not good for a quarterback coming off of a break that may have had footing issues. You got DeAndre Hopkins, who's had footing and knee issues. A rainy, wet field.
Well, for Connor.
Oh,
I think that bodes really well for James Conner. That's right.
Value,
yeah, and
time.
Since we're talking about that game, Justin Fields is out. Andy Dalton's starting for the Chicago Bears in that game. So there could be a lot of changes in the way teams play in a rainy game because of that.
Yeah, I like Dalton to try to make a splash. I think he obviously Fields is the quarterback of the future in Chicago, so you have to think that Dalton, not that any player out there is ever not giving it, it's all, but I think he's looking to maybe get a contract elsewhere next year or something like that. So, and he hasn't looked bad, with what he has to work with over there. I could see him maybe exposing this Arizona defense a little bit.
haven't played for a couple weeks. Sometimes it takes a couple weeks to get back together. You can come from a bye and be really well, or you can come from a bye and be messed up because your team hasn't ran together for a couple
Well,
weeks.
and Dalton played in Cincinnati his whole career. Kind of similar weather, not as bad, but he knows how to play in the cold. He knows how to. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. What are your thoughts on Dalton over there, Nunya?
I mean, I think he's probably going to be a clipboard holder from now on. But I think if it is absolutely in his favor to try and light it up, but I think they might lean on Montgomery too if it's muddy. They might just try and pound the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, how many teams has he been to since he left the
It's in Dallas, I know,
He
right?
went to Dallas. Did he play in front of Gardner Minshew down in Jacksonville for a little bit? Or maybe I'm thinking of Leftwich. No, that Leftwich was a long time ago. But
I think it was just Dallas after Cincinnati, right?
okay.
Yeah.
And then to Chicago.
And he was a TCU college, so going to Dallas was kind of like going home for him.
Oh, okay.
Hey, SVT Mike, we do this fantasy football every Sunday, all season. So super glad you found us at this time.
Week 13.
Stop by.
Week 13 of doing it. Yep. We'll be here for the rest of the season. Bring you all.
And right through the off season, yeah, we'll be doing things in the off season. So stay tuned.
Making it better for
Preseason
next
draft
year.
stuff for you guys, and then
Yep.
next season too.
Neil Stewart. Good morning, Neil.
Morning, Neil. Hope you're feeling well.
See John Rion's out there. TikTok saying playoffs, no trades. That's right. No, there's no trades in the playoffs. Nope. You got to find your fantasy help off the waiver wire. Maybe if you're playing Robert Harris, he hasn't put him on the waiver wire in that week.
Now here we go. Our first question. Sportus Nutritionist says Mooney or Beckham.
Beckham is having problems with his knee injury. I've been seeing stuff on his to keep an eye on his knee all week because he's not been doing too well in practice. Mooney, on the other hand, just doesn't have the guy that's been throwing to him, right?
He's been lighting it up.
Yeah.
He's been lighting it up, especially with Dalton. Dalton and
Okay.
Mooney seem to have a good connection over there. I would definitely start Mooney over Beckham. Beckham may, with Beckham, you always get maybe a higher ceiling because we still expect this guy can do whatever. But I go with Mooney there. I'm loving him.
If Dalton and Mooney have a connection, yeah, I would definitely go with Mooney because you're going to probably get more attempts, whereas Stafford's going to look to Odell Beckham maybe 5 times as,
He's going to go to Cup, and he's going to go to Woods.
Beckham has the better matchup, no doubt about it, this week, playing at home against Jacksonville. Then, Mooney's at home in Chicago, possible rain, though. I still think he's the guy. He's the number one. He's surpassed Allen Robinson as the number one over there in my mind. Okay. Even when Robinson's on the field, I think Mooney's still the man.
Mooney. Sorry.
I think Madison, we're going to be talking about him a little bit later, but I am very bullish on Madison.
Bullish on Madison. Lock him in.
All 3. Yep, bullish on him.
I lock him in. I don't think you can say he's as good as Dalvin Cook. No. You know what I mean, by any means, but I think he's going to fill in just fine and play pretty much the same role. He's not a different. They don't have to change the game plan with him.
There's 3 handcuffs that are necessary in this NFL world. Dalvin Cook's handcuff. What's his name? Hunt over there for Chubb, and Mr. Pollard. Any of those 3 backups are crucial backups to have because they are going to get starting snaps a lot of the times. And
Kamara's always going to get hurt, so have his back.
That's true. Yeah, Kamara's going to get hurt too. But Dalvin Cook definitely gets hurt every season, and Madison has proven already this season he's a capable starter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So feel
no Heidenreich. My dad used to say that same exact
I've heard that one. That's one of my favorites, that saying.
Yep. Well, let's get it started. Let's get into the running back.
Get it rolling.
The running back recap here. Get this moving. Welcome to the running backs. So, Leonard Fournette had an awesome week last week. I don't think anybody expected that out of him.
I did.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I went and picked Fournette up a couple weeks ago in one of my leagues. I forget who I traded. I kind of gave away a lot for him. I think they're just leaning on him. Ridiculous over there.
I've been surprised to see how much
Brady has a good connection with him. It's the passing game that impresses me more with Fournette. And it still just amazes me that Jacksonville just gave up on this guy. I don't know. I still go back to that. Like it never made sense.
What do you think, Nanya?
I mean, he seems money. Give him the rock and just trust him. He doesn't have any issues with fumbling. He is catching the ball now. Yeah, shame on Jacksonville.
I think Jacksonville kind of did the Detroit thing to him. They overused him, never gave him no real help, expected him to be the savior of the franchise, and then he kind of quit on them. So he went and started somewhere else, had to be reignited, because even when he got there to Tampa Bay, they had to, I guess, get in his butt about being part of the team and not being an I person. Looks like he's finally signed on to being a team player. And honestly, he looks the best he's ever looked fit-wise. He kind of looks like Marshawn Lynch started to do, where he morphed from this smaller bowling ball running back to a bigger beef running back. Fournette scares me coming down the season when it's like, if he's controllable now, where they can just run over people with him through games and just keep Brady protected, kind of like the Broncos did in Peyton Manning's final year, where they can just keep throwing the run at him, play good D. Tom Brady, all he's got to do is manage. He doesn't have to do 400-yard games or anything. I think they're in a good situation. But I will say real quick, I was interested to see that they've been giving Ronald Jones a little love, a little bit more lately, trying to get him back in the swing of things. So, but then all of a sudden Fournette goes for 5 touchdowns. It's like, well, Ronald Jones is an afterthought. So if you're a Fournette owner, thumbs up. Mixon had a great week last week. Kid just continues to.
he's no joke, man. That Cincinnati team, it's they've had a few downs this year, but I'm really interested to watch how that division plays out down the stretch.
Give them a couple pass rushers on defense and watch what happens. Like, I really think they could be the potent offensive team for the next 10 years if they can keep that triplet section together. They got a good build there. But Mixon's, he's tearing it up for sure. And then Mr. Eli Mitchell in San Francisco. They did just place Trey Sermon on IR. Fred Jones Jr., was that the kid's name? Not Fred Jones Jr.
Wilson, right?
Wilson Jr., yeah. Didn't turn out to be what everybody thought. So I would be looking at Eli Mitchell like, that's hot stuff for the San Francisco 49ers the rest of the season probably. You guys kind of thinking the same thing with Eli?
I am, and they're right back in the thick of things over there. They're on a 3-game winning streak, the Niners. They seem to be clicking.
Yeah. And they're committing to the run more, and they're winning more, and it seems to be that those are in lockstep. So when Shanahan sets up the pass with the run, it's really good. They do have a Deebo Samuel issue this week, but I think it's going to be really strong. I'm bullish on Mitchell.
And that division with the Rams lost 3 in a row. The Cardinals lost two out of the 3 with Murray gone, right?
Yeah. Put them back in a good position, and then Seattle's 3-8. They're out of it. They're done.
Yeah, they're out of it. It's we'll touch on that a little bit later with Russell Wilson, but yeah, it's
Since we're into running backs, and we did just talk about Eli in San Francisco, I'll just say one thing. Watch out for the vulture, Kyle Juszczyk. Did I say that correctly? The fullback. Juszczyk. He does get some vulture points for them, and he gets a little bit of the receptions too. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That actually could make Eli Mitchell even better, because if they bring in a 2 running back set, one of those linebackers got to go wherever Juszczyk's going. So that keeps a little bit of the love where they can do a sweep to Eli Mitchell and maybe get longer runs. If they use that, if Shanahan sees it and uses it towards the thing, I think he will. But keep an eye on that. That could be one little vulture part of the Eli connection there, but I don't think it'll hurt too much. All right, let's go ahead and swap into projections. Neil, that's good news. I hope everything goes well. I see that over there. And thank you, Caesar. Appreciate that. That's right. Hit that.
ADACDC. Good morning, my man.
Oh,
Good morning, brother.
Just seen that pop up. Good morning. All right. So we got Mr. Jonathan Taylor up there for the highest projection of the week. He's going up against a weak Houston defense. MIA, how you feeling about Jonathan Taylor's day up in Houston today?
I think if Houston can put any kind of points on the board, we can see Taylor go for 200. At least 200 all-purpose yards.
Wow. Okay. That is, for trading lack of terms here, that's bullish, I believe, right?
Super bullish.
Nunya, you the same way for our Colts running back there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm bullish all year, but in games like this, in the Houston game, yeah, they get up early and they just lean on him, and they tailor you to death. I think it's a really, really big game. I would not want to be facing the team owner that has Taylor this week.
No, I'm sure I am in 3 leagues at least.
Division matchup, but I will make one note. Indianapolis Colts starting center, I believe, is not playing in this game, so that could have a little bit of a thing on the running game, but they've had so many injuries on that offensive line and still produced all season. I'm not going to feel like it can't be done again. They've literally done that 5 or 6 times already this season, and still they got Jonathan Taylor, so just something to remember there. Mixon, of course, is our number 2. He's got the LA Chargers. Man, I think this is a running back feature game. As you can see, Eckler is the next one on the list there, so we can kind of discuss both of them here in the same conversation.
And the Chargers' run defense is not the best.
No,
they got a good pass rush. Their run defense, not the best. So yeah, I think those two go toe to toe. It's tough though, because with those two quarterbacks, you would think this could turn into a shootout real quick, you know what I mean? But with those two running backs, you got to look at it like it could be a ground and pound kind of game.
Well, even if it is a shootout, both those running backs get involved in those shootouts.
Yes.
They do throw to Eckler a lot. They throw to Mixon a little bit out of the backfield, and sometimes you see Eckler spread out as a 4 wide. And take some deep balls every once in a while. He's not a big tall receiver or nothing, but if he can get a good linebacker matchup, they'll take it every time.
I like those two at 2 or 3 on the week. Either way, flip flop if you need to.
Right? Yeah, you could almost just turn them over. It's a good matchup. It's going to be an offensive showdown in that game, no matter what. But you kind of the same feeling on those two, Nunya, Mixon, and Eckler.
I do. I think they're both going to have to be leaned on heavily. I'll tell you, local market, Zach Taylor, the Bengals coach, is really, really flaming this is the 2 great next young quarterbacks.
Okay. And
he is pumping Burrow like crazy over Herbert. So his game plan might go a little in the air. Local radio and paper, he is really pumping like the matchup between the two.
This is the head coach doing this.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I look at that as 2 different ways. That's either peacocking, or he's setting up a game plan that may look more to run, getting them to think, oh, he's gonna let the air, he's gonna let it fly, and then all of a sudden just come out and hammer Mixon. Uzomah short underneath passes, hammer Nixon, Uzomah, but that'll be interesting to see how it plays out. And thank you for that information. That's kind of interesting because they are the next 2 behind the Mahomes batch. These are the next 2. They're the next ones. That's
we got a question there real quick. Ryan says start Gardner Minshew against the Jets. Ooh. Or Tua against the Giants.
That's a good toilet bowl question for both of them.
That's a great question.
I like those. Those are the hard ones.
Ooh.
How long has it been since Minshew started a game? Did he do one last year at all for Jacksonville before?
I think
they yanked him and started somebody else off and on, I think, before they ever drafted this kid, right? Because that's what they gave Gardner Minshew a chance last season. Man, Tua's been getting it done with Waddle, and he's got Devontae Parker back today, supposedly. So I might go with Tua just because Minshew's got to wash off the gut from sitting on the bench for so long. I don't know. Where are you at, MIA?
And I'm just trying to look at some stats here to see.
When Carter
because that
300-yard passing game.
Yeah,
I'm going to jump in and be biased.
Okay.
Say the matchup against the Jets is way better, and I don't hate Stash. I don't think Minshew's terrible. I think the Giants are only a team that plays on defense.
Okay.
So they might bottle up Tua. If I have the choice there, I take Minshew.
With Danny Dimes out, are we going to? I would have to think that kind of defense. We're going to see the Giants try to slow the game down, try to run the ball, pound the ball. I agree. And you know what? We've seen Minshew kind of in big moments before. We've seen Minshew, who was a guy that maybe never had a right to be where he was to begin with. We've seen him take advantage when he first got the opportunity in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I think I'd go Minshew there.
Okay. We got 2 for Minshew. I'm still gonna roll with Tua. I like that tight end. I like the fact that he's getting his weapons back, and I think Tua might have a good end of the season, maybe. But Minshew could come out and throw 250, 3 touchdowns on his first game back. It's very possible.
He can, and Tua's got that nice connection with Waddle already. Then you get even more healthy, like we seen what Waddle did last week. I don't think one's head and shoulders over the other. I think both are risky plays. I think if you're deciding between those two,
if you're picking one of those two, you are hurting in a quarterback, and you are.
I'm going to assume that you had maybe Jalen Hurts, and he got hurt, and you kind of had Tua maybe as a backup.
Yeah, or you're trying to find
a bye week
daily fantasy quarterback for under 2,000, maybe.
Yeah, now something like that. I don't know what Minshew's going for, but that may be a sneaky play. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he's got starter experience. He knows how to read defenses. It may not be great, but it's not that anybody great you're going to see in the Jets. So it's like he probably could go and throw for 250 and 3 touchdowns, maybe 0 picks. Maybe he does a 0-pick game. But quarterback handling issues, handoff issues from the center to the quarterback, handoff issues from quarterback to running back. Those are things that mess up when a quarterback hasn't played for years. Those are the things I'd be looking as takeaway points from a Gardner play. Whereas Tua has been handing off to the running back Gaskin for a while. He's been throwing to Gesicki. The immeasurables for me are a little bit greater than the non-things that you might get out of Minshew versus the Jets, but that's just me. I know we just missed a question there and the chat rolled up, and we'll come back to it here. Eddie Phillips, need a flex full PPR. Rashad Bateman. Sorry. Oh, okay. Need a flex full PPR. Rashad Bateman, Elijah Moore, or Kendrick Bourne. Thanks, fellas. From Eddie Phillip there. I'll let Nunya answer that one first. Sorry.
Okay. I think out of those 3, Moore has been putting up really good numbers the last 3-4 weeks, and they're looking to him, as his name states, Moore. I think Kendrick Bourne is boom or bust, and Bateman is also kind of boom or bust. Bourne and Bateman are more of a maybe third option on their team, and Elijah Moore is probably number 2 on the Jets, and he is definitely their deep shot. So if it's me, I take Moore.
Yeah, I think you said it perfect. I think Kendrick Bourne is boom or bust. It could be a boom game, but Moore has shown that, after that one breakout week, it wasn't just a flash in the pants. He's the guy over there. So I would probably go with Moore.
I kind of just echo everything Nunya said almost perfectly. Elijah Moore has shown to be the number 2. They're the deep threat there in the Jets, because Crowder is kind of just the 5-yard curl guy. Kendrick Bourne, we talked about him last week, and he kind of blew up. But again, you can talk about the guy for 1 week, but show me 4 weeks in a row, and then I'll start to consider you an everyday player. So I'm the boomer bust part about that, 100% correct. And then Rashad Bateman, I don't ever see him. I saw him get thrown to twice from Baltimore. To me, he's like a wide receiver 4. You know what I mean? Like they've got Mark Andrews and the other kid, Marquise Brown, and that's all they throw to in that team. And I just don't see him throwing to Bateman enough to warrant starting him in any situation. So I think our answer there is definitely Elijah Moore across the board.
Steven Drakes with that super chat. Much appreciated, Steven.
Oh, wow.
Don't feel like it's necessary to do that, to ask a question, but really appreciate it. Would you flex Marvin Jones or Alex Collins half-point PPR? You guys kick that off. We'll start with that first half.
None, you go with the first part because I got an interesting thing that we'll be talking about when we get here in the very next little part of our segment.
Okay, so I'm not a giant fan of either of them, but the half PPR, I would probably go Marvin Jones. I actually have been an Alex Collins holder for a while, and I have used him in certain weeks where I had to, and he has not really produced for me. Seahawks are in a position where Russ is not throwing the ball well, so it probably makes it worse. So if it's me there, I'm leaning to Marvin Jones.
All right, I'm going to come in with something. If I am a Seattle running back holder, I am running from any Seattle running back player, period. They just signed Adrian Peterson. He is going to start today from all accounts. Adrian Peterson is going to start for Seattle. So Alex Collins ain't even worth the play, let alone playing Adrian Peterson in my eyes. So if my opinion is Seattle running backs, dump them. Get rid of them. You don't know what's going to happen in that team. But PPR right now, I'm going Marvin Jones to answer that question. I'll give it to MIA, and then we'll do the second part of that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think if Russ starts showing that he can throw the ball again, it may open the running game up a little bit. It's, I don't know the reason behind, it's not like Peterson looked good in Tennessee.
Emergency
So
only, yeah.
That's how bad Alex Collins has been.
And I have to wonder if they're, yes, exactly, Nunya. I have to wonder at what point they throw the towel in Seattle on the season. So, yeah, I would, and not that Jacksonville's playing for any trophies down there, but young team, still trying to develop. They're going to continue to throw the ball, continue to work things out. I would go Marvin Jones there. Then the second part, also, I have Scott and Sony. How strongly do you feel about their situations? Scott, I think they both continue to kind of we see that they're going to use him, but
He's
it
out
seems like
today.
him. Is he out?
I just put it into the Twitter feed there.
Really?
You'll see it coming across. Scott's out more than likely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So if that's
Okay.
a question
Well, not
for
nice,
today,
but
if that's a question for today, run with Sony if that's all you have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you'll see it. It should run across there. The Eagles.
Nice.
One of the Eagles updates in the Twitter feed.
Good morning, Mr. Santapolo.
And that's why you come
You're
to this
doing
channel.
well.
Because we keep you
Thoughts to
listed.
you, brother, man.
Nice.
We keep you news. I
Sending
did see
you
a.
much love. Sending your brother and your family love.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, Mr. Santa. Much love to your brother. I hope things are getting better.
Much love.
Always thinking of you.
Sports nutritionist. That's a great joke. I like that one. It's not. I'm not going to say it,
That's
but it's
really
a great
funny.
joke. Let's see.
Now, if you and that, even if Scott would have played, is Howard coming back today too?
I don't believe so. I think it's between Gaynor and Sanders today. I think it's between those two. I may be wrong on that. Here's some Philly news right here. Jalen Hurts, Gardner Minshew, Boston Scott will be a game time decision right there. So they don't know for sure if he's playing yet. So be on top of that. If you took, sorry if I said that wrong, but it's a game time decision. Questionable for Sunday due to illness against the Jets right there.
That golden paw on Mitchell Wayne. It looks good on you.
Looking good, Mitchell Wayne.
Mr.
Looking
Wayne,
good.
how you doing today?
Okay, and then what's the latest news on Darrell Henderson?
We'll see that coming across. I believe I put that in there. That's the Jacksonville update. It should. All these are, they're all alphabetical. There's Darrell Henderson right there. They'll be testing Darrell Henderson before Sunday's game to see if he can play, but is optimistic about possible from the source, I guess is what that just said.
Okay.
We try to keep those up to date, and I am searching new tweets all the time while we're doing this show and trying to get them put in there. So you guys always keep an eye on that live Twitter feed there.
So just to finish. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nanya.
I didn't know if that was the 831 Adam Schefter tweet that just said they are not optimistic about Darrell Henderson due to his quad.
Okay, I'll check on that. It might be a December 4th tweet. If it's a December 5th tweet, I would definitely be, yeah, let me look on
December 5th at 8:31 a.m. East.
Yep. So Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, because what I was going to say is in that situation with Scott not being healthy, with that backfield already cluttered in Philly, I would lean, if I had to decide between Scott and Sony Michel there, I'm going Sony because it looks like, he's going to be healthy.
See Santa, thanks guys. It was a successful operation. They got the blood clot out. Excellent, dude. Excellent.
Much love, man.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers.
All the thoughts and prayers going that way, man, for sure. Let's see here. All right.
So I hope we answered that good for you there, Stephen Drakes, and really appreciate that super chat.
No doubt. Yes. Thank you very much for that super chat. And thank you for just joining us here.
Yeah. Don't feel like you have to pay to get information around here. We appreciate the heck out of it, no doubt about it. But feel free to just ask away. We'll try to answer anything we can here for you guys.
We'll remember your name next time. Your question will go right to the top of the list because of that super chat. We do appreciate that 100%. All right. So number 4 on our list is Madison. Kind of got into the Cook issue. Dalvin, I believe, is 100% out. It's not even questionable at this point, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's out.
So anybody,
and you got to think part of that comes down to matchup, right? I think if maybe if it was a different game, they may push him, but
they're not going to try to kill they need him for the playoffs. I gotta stop using that word. They don't want to hurt him for the playoffs. Sorry.
And Madison has proven he can carry the load if need be, especially against someone like Detroit.
Yeah. Me and Nunya talked about this earlier this season when Dalvin was out earlier that he looks like he's running for a contract, and when he gets this opportunity, he tends to take off and do a good thing by himself. When they're splitting time, it doesn't look like he's running as hard, but when he's by himself, he looks like he's running for a contract, and to me, that's always a good thing when you're a fantasy owner, when you see a guy playing for a contract. What is that, the story of feast for your supper, or sing for your supper, that's what it is, sorry.
Yep.
All right, I'm just checking my roster here real quick, sorry. All right. And then what do we got here for the final one? I believe our final guy on the list is Leonard Fournette. Yep. We all know what's coming with that. That's an Atlanta defense. More than likely. We all saw the ABs out. We'll talk about that as we get to wide receivers later on. But I would kind of expect Tampa Bay to just roll down into Atlanta and just run over this team. They may do some
play of last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
You have to think that. You have to
light Gronkowski use, light Evans use. Get some Godwin and a couple of the younger receivers some time, and keep Brate and the other guy useful until they hit the
Hammer Fournette.
Well, and the thing about it is, I would like to sit here. And I would like to. I would like to sit here and say it's going to be a Leonard Fournette show, but we've seen how Tom Brady tunes up late in the season. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a let's take it easy and slow the guy. You know, I think they come out guns a-blazing. I don't think that diminishes Fournette's impact at all. I think that we're going to see a lot more offense. I don't think Atlanta's going to be able to catch up with them. Maybe Atlanta can put some points on the board. Again, we seen last week with Patterson. You get the ball in his hands. I love the meme that I seen that like he's the I'm sure it's not true, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
About him being the emergency safety now, saying he wants to get an interception this year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it at this point. Like he's the everything man there. But I think that could get keyed on. I see this. The only possibility is maybe it gets overlooked. Maybe Matt Ryan comes out and does some old Matt. Maybe Matt Ryan still got a little chip on his shoulder against Brady. You know what I mean? I got to imagine the 28-3 comes back in Matt Ryan's head every once in a while. So you never know. But I think Fournette has a ridiculous game either way.
I mean, I could even see it being Brady wants to tune up, so he goes a little hog wild in the first half, and then Fournette just kills them in the second half.
Yeah, barrels through. It's a possibility there for sure. Yeah, I just think that Tampa Bay just throttles them and just has fun with them, just toys with them the whole game. Atlanta might be able to put up 21 points, but it's all going to be in garbage time in my idea.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay's kind of pulled back and went into prevent, and then Ryan's able to start throwing. Ndamukong Suh's not coming after his head for the first 20 minutes of the game, so.
But we've seen crazier things, you know what I mean? It's
right.
it's I think in the beginning of the year
they've already had 2 this season. It could be a trap game for Tampa Bay. I don't look at it in that sense. If they come out and fart around and Atlanta gets up 20 points there in the Superdome or whatever dome they call it now, Mercedes-Benz Dome, you could see Atlanta maybe squeak a squeaker out there, because Tampa Bay doesn't always produce that well inside the dome. When they go play inside, they don't ever really do that great. So it'll be interesting, but Brady gets teams on fire, man, going for the playoff runs, and they tend to.
It's a different kind of preparation, you know what I mean? And that's why I say this: when you get to this point in the season, there's no letting up. There's no
after Thanksgiving,
Brady.
It's playoff time. It's on. If you're
and let's be honest, there's no better playoff ready quarterback than ever than Tom Brady. That's
a fact. As much as I hate to admit it, it's 100% a fact. Yeah. And the teams that he's played for, the players say that. They're like, he don't let you fart off on a playoff week. Like, he won't let.
And I think that's a big reason why we've seen Fournette have this turnaround is Tom Brady. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing, is like he gave up in Tampa Bay or in Jacksonville. That's what a lot of players said. Like, he had quit. He'd stopped coming to like running back meetings because he just quit. And they were like, well, we got to get rid of him. They tried to trade him. Nobody wanted to take the price of the trade, and they eventually just let him go. Like, it was out. But all right. So that's running back projections. We've got a couple interesting conversations coming up here in our buy or sells. Go ahead and roll us into those ones. All right, so let's start with some breaking news out of Denver to start this one. Melvin Gordon is out this week. Javonte Williams will be the starter in Denver. So on your buy or sell list here, I'm going to start off with Mr. None Your Business here. Where are you at with Javonte Williams? If he's out on the free agent wire, are you picking him up? Are you trading him beyond this news? What are you doing with Javonte Williams? How are you liking this player going forward with Melvin Gordon out in a big game versus the Chiefs?
Yeah, this is a huge game. If you can find him, I think you should run and get him, I guess. He does run kind of angry. I mean, if you see him, he's not the biggest guy, but he's impressive when he runs. So I would certainly take a chance. I think they like to run the ball. That's part of their game plan. So if you have a chance, he's got a clear shot. Gordon's out. So I'm bullish, especially short term. I'm picking him up and saying, you know what?
Gotcha. MIA, where are you at?
I would say the same thing. I think he's going to fit into the game plan just fine over there. Depending on the conditions, we could see a run-heavy game, and it's an opportunity for him. You know what I mean? Gordon's kind of been the man over there pretty much all year. So, yeah, take a shot. I like it.
I like the young kid. I know he's got a really different running style from Melvin Gordon, and that's the reason they do use Melvin Gordon as the main runner, because he's got that lean forward, get 2 yards kind of style. Javonte's always looking for the next hole, but doesn't necessarily always get there. But when he does find it, he hits it hard. The one thing I'd say about Denver this week is going into a Chiefs game that they know they need to throw a lot to stay up with the Chiefs points, and that's the one thing Melvin Gordon definitely gave them an advantage on, was in the screen game and stuff like that. So I'd be watching to see if Javonte can pick up that screen game and run with what Melvin Gordon's doing now that Melvin's gone. If Javonte can do that and produce as much as Melvin Gordon, I think that's a step for next season, saying I'm going to replace Melvin Gordon completely next year. It's not going to affect the season this much, but going forward, just keep an eye on what Melvin Gordon's going to be on the Denver Broncos next year. If Javonte can step into this role and perform well today, it's a big move for Denver. They'll know they have a viable running back going forward. Point-wise today, I'm probably expecting 15 points out of them. I think the defense in the Chiefs is still porous enough that if you get past the first level of defensive linemen, you can score points with a running back. So it'll happen. Uh-oh. What's coming in?
Pooter Poots.
What?
Tripped up and call.
What? Look at this. All right. Get your coffee drink in, fellas.
Yeah. My dogs are already barking. I can hear them. They know what's coming.
My name's Ray.
Pooter Poots.
All right. Pooter Poots. How you been, buddy? It's good to see you here.
Good to see you. Thanks
Happy
for stopping
holidays,
by.
no doubt.
Caesar having fun with us already.
Already. All right. You guys ready for this? And then we'll answer that
It's gonna
Caesar
be.
Boston
Yep.
CEH question.
We'll get these.
3,
On 3.
2, 1. Oh, man.
go, Pooter.
Handicap Dolphins for the win.
Oh, man. I think they're going to
Pooter, hope you're doing good, my friend.
Pooter Poots. How's the Poot Coin business going, by the way? It's been a little
Poot
while,
Coin
Pooter.
business is banging.
It has been.
Happy holidays to you as well, Pooter.
John Rion, we will get you taken care of, bud. Sorry about that. We just had a little miscommunication since the Friday Night Poker. We'll get it taken care of for you there. Caesar C, if Boston and CEH both play, would you all start Sanders or CEH?
And I am seeing a tweet at 8:19 that CEH is expected to play.
Yeah, they're going to use him today in the divisional game.
I think I
that's why
still
I-
go Sanders there.
I might agree with you, even though I'm a Chiefs fan.
With Minshew, and with the way that game plan looked last week, what did he throw? 3 interceptions, Hurts?
Yeah.
I think they, at some point, they have to say, we need to give Miles Sanders the damn ball. Like, it probably won't happen, but I think that
They are playing the Jets.
they are playing the Jets. I think it's a good matchup. I think the Kansas City matchup's good though too. Odie, how much do you think? I guess I'm gonna defer this to you because what kind of workload do you think he sees?
I actually see Darrell Williams getting the most of the workload today. I think in tough games like this, it's shown that CEH has fumbling problems, and I think Darrell Williams gets the meat of the carries in carry-wise. They might use CEH maybe a couple times to set up a pass or something, but I don't think you're going to see a 100-yard CEH game today. I think you're going to see a 40-yard, 50 split between Darrell Williams and CEH. And if it gets down to goal line situations, Darrell Williams comes into the game. So I don't know how much, if that answers.
So with that, with what you tell me there, I'm going Sanders.
I'm going Sanders. I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm going Sanders. If that says anything, yeah.
I think the matchup alone pretty much dictates I would go with Sanders.
Right.
And taking the advice of the Chiefs fan.
Look what the defense for
I
Denver
defer
has done.
at Darrell Williams.
Denver's defense shut out Dallas's run game, shut them out, 0 points.
Mm-hmm.
Denver's defense turned around and beat the Raiders? Was that the next week? Is that who they beat? I don't remember who they beat after Denver. Denver's on a 3-game win streak right now. And it's mainly on the part of their defense because they have not been putting up too many points. If I'm correct in saying they've been on 3-game win streak, I think that's what they are, because they're 6-5 right now. If they win, they can actually move into first place in the AFC West. So that's the frightening thing. So I am kind of bullish on the Denver's defense versus a porous Chiefs running game. So yeah, I would say, or not bullish. I'm bearish against the Chiefs running offense. I guess is a better way.
Yeah, they shut the Chargers down last week.
It was. Okay. Yeah. They shut the Chargers running Eckler down. They shut Dallas down. And 2 of those games have been without Von Miller. I think 3 of them because Von Miller was injured during the Dallas game. So, Denver's defense getting better. Chubbs came back last week for Denver's defense. Their defense is better each week.
Big game tonight.
Patrick Surtain Jr. is getting better and will be all over Tyreek Hill tonight, causing him issues. It's going to be a good game. I will point this, and I put it in the Twitter feed there. Chiefs are 7-0 with Patrick Mahomes versus Denver. Patrick
Dun,
Mahomes
dun,
has never
dun.
lost to Denver. So trends change.
Hey, good morning, Cassie. Cassie said the hoodie has arrived. Thanks again. Awesome.
Oh, look at that. Pooter Poots gave some coins to Cassie. Haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, Pooter said the poop coin took a hit with the rest of them, man. I thought it would have ran opposite. I didn't think that dip would have affected poop coins, but things are tough all over. And
I've been making extra poop coins all week because of the dips.
Good luck.
All right. So let's move into the second one here. DeAndre Swift with Detroit. He's out. So Jamal Williams going to get the big starting job today. He's had it a couple times. He has done pretty decently. Detroit's got a pretty favorable matchup in this one. Minnesota's run defense, I mean, it's serviceable, but Jamal Williams has a chance here. I'm not super bullish on it, but I do want to see how it goes. I've got a DeAndre Swift on one of my rosters, and I'm just interested to see what Jamal does. How are you guys feeling about Jamal Williams there in Detroit? We'll go with Nunya there to start it off.
I'm pretty bullish, especially this week. Minnesota games tend to go to the over. They're very score heavy. So I like that, and I think he's going to get those little swing passes that were going to DeAndre Swift. So even beyond, he's going to get those per course run game. He's going to get the swing passes. So I think especially this week, I'm bullish.
Okay.
yeah, I am too. He showed consistently kind of this year when Swift went down. Even the numbers that he had on Thanksgiving, 5 catches, 15 carries, 65 yards after Swift went down. So I think Detroit is garbage, but I think maybe they abandoned the run game early, but I think he's going to be heavily involved in the passing game, and I think easily 6 to 8 catches. How much he does on the ground, I'm not so sure on, but I think he'll be the no doubt the primary ball hole. You got a starting running back.
You think he can hit that 85 buffer as a receiver possibly today? I know it's not a guarantee, but you think it's a possibility?
Yeah.
That's an amazing feat. If a running back can do that, even if they get 0 yards rushing, if a running back can get you 85 yards receiving, that's a great day. It's a pretty darn good day. Because more than likely,
and I mean we've seen Swift break off a lot of big plays out of the backfield. And I think there's 0 pressure over there too, right? I mean, they obviously want to win a game. There's that kind of pressure, but they're not thinking playoffs. They're not thinking, you know what I mean?
They're spoilers at this point.
Yeah.
They might be able to spoil Minnesota's season with a win today.
Exactly.
That could give them the opportunity to keep them away from Green Bay's heels. It definitely could knock them out of a 17 playoff run.
And he's probably not a guy that you can go out and get. He's probably he's probably handcuffed at this point, but if he's not, or if you're looking at it daily, depending on how much his value shot up, you may be able to get him kind of sneaky in a daily
Absolutely.
in a daily pool. Sorry.
No, you're good. What did I already gave it to you, Nunya, about Jamal, didn't I? Yep, I did.
Sir.
All right, so we got the one more left, and then we're going to take a little quick coffee break. We'll take turns getting a coffee break in, but this one's funny to me. I had to throw this one. I almost put this in as a complete joke. I'm really serious. If you're riding this bandwagon, I don't even know what's going on in the world. This guy got 40 yards with 2 games under his belt for the last team he played for, and then somebody goes and signs him again. Like, sometimes you just want dreams to finish and stop. You know what I mean? Like, you want to wake up from a dream. I want to wake up from this dream. Adrian Peterson, just retire, bro, because you're ruining your history by doing what you're doing. Don't go to Seattle and get 10 more yards. It's not going to help your history. Adrian Peterson, from all accounts that I'm seeing, is going to get the bulk load of the carries in Seattle today. I don't know if that means Russ's fingers re-hurt or they're just so afraid of Alex Collins, but their season's over, and they're going to put it on the hands of Adrian Peterson? Like, I don't know.
I think that's Pete Carroll trolling.
Why not? Look, here's an idea. I'm just going to throw this out. This is an amazing thought, though, that I think we're seeing more around the league. Cordarrelle Patterson established wide receiver is able to be a running back. Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, both established receivers able to be running backs. Tyreek Hill was a running back before he was molded into a receiver in Kansas City.
Kendrick Bourne over in
You
New
can't get the
England.
ball to
Same
DK
type thing.
Metcalf in a pass? Give the ball to DK Metcalf out of the backfield. The dude is 250 pounds of beef. Get the ball to DK Metcalf.
I say direct snap it.
Right.
Direct
Instead,
snap it. You got 10
Adrian
blockers.
Peterson. Like,
Make them go one-on-one.
no wonder Seattle's 3-8. Like, I'm so frustrated with Seattle. I don't even like Seattle, but the way they're doing it this year is just so dumb. Geno Scott was playing great, or Geno Smith was playing fine, and had to rush back, had to get him back. Like, okay, sorry.
Tell us how you really feel, Odie.
See, this is my CNBC moment, Nunya. This is my CNBC moment. All right. We lost Nunya there, right when I said that.
Yeah. Nunya's like, yep.
I'm out.
That's enough.
I can't take any more of this Adrian Peterson burn it. There he is. He's back.
There he is.
All right, Nunya, what do you feel about my rant here this morning? I'm sweating from it, like I'm burning up from it. Take the hat off.
I think it's unfortunately an embarrassing end to a Hall of Fame career, and I agree with you 100%. Just leave.
Just go. It's done.
Well, what I don't understand is you have. It's not like you have you have Delvin Cook or you have a primetime running back on your disabled list right now. If you're Seattle, why wouldn't you be signing a young kid to see what they're capable of and trying to get something established for the future instead of now? I have to say this is probably a money thing.
Probably.
I don't know what's going on with that, but because he was on Tennessee, let go, they're probably getting Peterson for next to nothing.
Yeah,
somebody's
started
probably
on their
picking
practice
up the
squad. They signed him to their practice squad and then activated him, so he's getting league minimum.
But still, I don't understand a team that's out of it. Like, I understood Tennessee, right? They were still right in the thick of it, and I'm not saying I agreed with it or thought it was a great move, but I seen what they were trying to do. They were just looking for some continuity to get them through. Maybe they get Derrick Henry back. But I don't understand this move in Seattle. You're out of it. You're 3-8. Russ looks like garbage.
You got 6 games left to test players to see who's going to be around for the next season. You can go and sign any running back off of any practice squad in the league. That's how that works. You can literally go and
the
sign
talent pool is so deep at running back, league wide. You know what I mean? We've seen outside of the staple running backs, you see week in, week out, somebody plug and play. You know what I mean? Somebody's out, next guy up. It's the biggest position like that. And I mean, it leads to running backs kind of being underpaid and undervalued nowadays, but that's the way that the NFL is, you know?
Hey guys,
Yep.
Breaking news out of Houston. Not that anybody, I hope, is leaning too hard on David Johnson, but he is not playing today.
So does that mean
Johnson
Philip Lindsay,
is-
who I think they just signed, they brought back to Houston? Does that mean Philip Lindsay steps back in the startup role?
They sent
Rex.
They sent him packing. He is no longer on the team, so it's Rex.
Rex
Burkhead will be the starting running back in Houston today. Wow.
So if anybody needs somebody, you can go run and pick him up. I don't think he's going to be a great spot, but if you're hurting, there's somebody you can grab.
He might, he might see some catches out of the backfield. Burkhead.
That's true.
Not a great play, but that could be another sneaky play in daily. You may be able to pick him up for next to nothing and have yourself a starting running back. So that's something to look at.
Yeah.
Also, more of a heads up, if you have him as a flex or somewhere in your lineup, please replace him.
But just to go on with what I was saying there with Philip Lindsay, I mean, if Philip Lindsay just got sent from Houston, that means he was on the table somewhere. Seattle could do better with Philip Lindsay than they could with Adrian Peterson. I mean, the guy literally got 40 yards in 2 games with Tennessee. Just let him go, man. Don't bring him back. I'm sorry. I'm so fired up about bringing these old guys back on a name the league's passed these dudes by, and like they're not going to produce. And like you said, there's plenty of players out there that could be given the advantage or time and actually do something for the Seattle team.
I agree 100%.
It's just a lot of people are going to go and sign Adrian Peterson this week. That's kind of why the reason I put this up there, because a lot of people are going to go sign Adrian Peterson, think they're going to get a running back, and they're going to have.
Well, there may have been some people too that got Adrian Peterson maybe just on a whim and stashed him on Tennessee, and maybe just never got rid of him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not to say that anybody should have did that, but there's things happen.
Heidenreich and Caesar will get to quarterbacks soon, but I agree with both of you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. On both of those situations. Wow, yeah. I agree with both.
There is not another option out there for me. My options are Russell Wilson, Tyrod Taylor.
In my book, Pooter Poots, 40 yards is no yards. That's an over. For a running back, 40 yards isn't really anything. You're barely getting, 0.40 points for 40 yards? Yeah, it's not that. Yeah. But, I mean, it is points. I'll give you that. But I don't know.
You've had some games decided in the league this year by less than a single point.
I don't see him breaking off a 40-yard run. I don't see him breaking off a 40-yard touchdown. I don't see him breaking 100 yards. So I don't see any upside of having him on your roster, even if you're not a fantasy player. You're just an NFL franchise. But whatever. I'm not the Seattle's owner. All right, we're moving on. MIA's having fun with my little.
I like it, man.
With that, we're going to hold here for the defense. If you guys want to go see what the dogs are doing, refill them coffees, I will chill here for a few moments, let you guys do that, and then we'll take our little break. I'll take my little break, and we'll get back into the defense here. Looks like we're doing pretty good on time. I'll do a little Twitter check, too. What were you going to say there?
Back in a minute.
Okay.
Mike Lennon's the starter over there for the Giants, huh?
That is correct.
So these are my options in my big money league. I have Russell Wilson and Tyrod Taylor. The only other available quarterbacks are Dalton, Zach Wilson, Jared Goff, Mike Lennon. So chew on that for a minute. Welcome to my hell. And this is my big money league right in the tied for second. This is a really close league.
Would you want to start Boyle for Detroit? No. Is it Goff today?
I'm looking at Dalton here with some upside. I don't know, man. It's
Zach Wilson is back, Caesar.
Oh.
Yeah, if we got points for interceptions as a quarterback, I would definitely start Wilson.
No. I was just answering his question.
No, I know.
Right?
Yeah, you're stuck. I might start Tyrod Taylor, honestly.
I'm leaning towards it. I keep saying it with Russ. It's like, I'll just give him one more week. I'll give him 1 week, and
Let
me get some coffee and think about it.
All right.
Me too. I'll be right back.
Okay. When we do these little breaks, guys, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's joined us here today. We really appreciate you guys sticking with us, hitting that like and subscribe, hitting that notification bell does you something extra special. It lets you know anytime we start a new stream, when we get ripped back over to, or not ripped, when we get set back over to crypto or the stock stream, you'll get notified of that. We'd really appreciate you, though, sticking around and just being part of the fam here on the Bulldog Trading Network. I see a question coming in. Good lucking. Geno Smith played better as backup in the field goal. If the field goal kicker would have played normal, Geno would have been 2-1. I kind of agree with you, dude. Like, I thought Geno Smith played well in their in his little debut there, and I thought they brought Russ back way too quick. And Geno might have been able to keep them even for most of the season if and let Russ actually heal. I'm kind of 100% with you there, good lucking. Oh, thank you, good lucking, for that like. I appreciate that, 100%. If you guys notice, we do try to keep those Twitter feed up there updated to the best we can. I do rip them from basically Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but if anything new's coming in on Sunday, I try to get that up in there for you guys so that we can definitely keep updated leading into the first round of games this afternoon, or this morning if you live on the East Coast. It is currently 9:15 a.m. That means we're about 2 hours away from getting the official Sit 'em Start 'em updates coming through, so we'll be keeping an eye open for that. And I'm also keeping a left eye on that crypto market over there, trying to see if we get a bounce back at that at any point. We had some very volatile crypto market right after the close of the stock market on Friday evening, so we'll be keeping an eye on that as we are. We are a 24-hour stock and crypto channel here, so definitely pay attention to us after the fantasy stream, and we'll keep you updated on if any breaking news or anything comes through on that level. Let's see, I'm going to roll over to Twitter real quick and just check a couple things while I got a second. And if you guys want, TikTok is trying to get a new heist going there. Westside did an awesome job writing that new heist. Take a couple minutes, even if you don't play along, go ahead and read that new heist. It's a great one. Props to him on that. Really enjoyed reading that one. It's kind of fun. Real cool holiday little spirit to it. So definitely take a minute, join in with that heist, and also give that one a good read. Check Adam Schefter here, guys. Not seeing too much. I think we might already mention this, that Jaguars running back James Robinson is listed as questionable for Sunday due to the heel and knee injuries. He's been hobbled for a couple weeks now, I guess. Not seeing anything on that one. Check Field Yates real quick. Looking all good, so we're not seeing any of the newer updates yet, guys. Look at all them people joining in on that heist. Much appreciated. Good luck to everyone. Hopefully we get a nice return this time. I know sometimes it seems like only a few people get out. I'd like to see just a bunch of people get on out. All right. Some interesting news. Curtis Samuel is listed as questionable for the Washington football team. He is expected to play today. Josh Jacobs and wide receiver Deshaun Jackson for the Raiders, both of whom are listed as questionable, are expected to play today, barring a setback versus that Washington football team. Rams wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. slowed this week with a hip injury, is expected to play today, and should be a bigger part of the offense. That's coming from the coach, but I don't know if you can really expect that 100%. Let's see here. All right, Mr. Skywalker Live coming in with a Frank Moreau or Zach Ertz. And I need 2 out of 3, Hopkins, OBJ, or Mike Williams. All right, I can do this for you right off the bat. Frank Moreau stepping in for Darren Waller, who is out. I do like Zach Ertz in this matchup today. Even though Frank Moreau is kind of stepping in to be a starter, I like Zach Ertz coming back with Kyler Murray if Murray plays, and all intentions look like he is playing. Out of those 3 wide receivers, I'm kind of leaning away, though, from Hopkins because he's kind of playing on a bum knee and foot. OBJ, we just heard, might be a bigger part of the offense today, so I'll take a splash on him. And I know Mike Williams has been performing better each and every week for San Diego. The Los Angeles Chargers. So I'm rolling with Mike Williams and OBJ in that one. Hopkins is going to get you points. I just don't know how much health he's actually bringing, so they may not even go to him, and they've used him as a decoy earlier this season where he got 0 targets when he came back not healthy. So I'm thinking they're going to use him more to keep Kyler Murray healthy. They'll run Hopkins out there and just to keep defenders back so they're not blitzing an injured Kyler Murray as much. But yeah, I'm going definitely with Zach Ertz, Mike Williams, and what was the other guy? I got to scroll back up just to see it. Brain fart. OBJ. Yep. Sorry about that, but there you go, Mr. Skywalker Live, and thank you for that question. Appreciate it. Good morning, funny meme guy. Appreciate that. And Ron D, I hope you're having a good morning as well. Like to see all these people in the heist, and we did get out with a couple people escaping from the heist. Caesar, none your business, good looking, hiding right, Cassie, And Cassie Pants got out. Very nice. Awesome for you guys. That's great. All right. Go back here real quick. Check one more little fantasy thing.
And I'm back if you want to go take a break, sir.
Gotcha. All right. Do not see anything. We bring you back in, Mr. Nunya. I like that jersey. I think MIA mentioned that earlier. I like that jersey, Nunya. That's a pretty sweet jersey.
Thank you. Lawrence Taylor Hall of Fame jersey.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. I am gonna get you back in. I'm gonna step out and go grab me some coffee. If MIA comes back, just I'll bring him back in. I'll get my coffee. I'll bring him back in if he gets back before I do. But I'll leave it to you for a minute, and I'll be right back.
I am gonna scroll up and see if there were any questions that Odafro answered, and I'll put my 2 cents in.
Definitely. I remember seeing Zach Wilson isn't back from Caesar, so that's where I left off. Miami defense or the Bills? Okay, Caesar. I'm definitely going to think Miami playing against the Giants. Miami's defense has been pretty strong. They blitz like crazy, which might bug Glennon. Oh, and the Bills are playing New England. It's that big Monday night game. New England might game plan against it. I advocate for Miami in that one. Just Skywalker Live. Moreau or Ertz. Moreau is the backup for Waller, who is out this week, guys. So please, I know Waller is probably one of the higher drafted tight ends. Make sure you make that change. Get somebody else in that spot. I do like Ertz. I liked him in Philly. I like him more in the Arizona offense, and it looks like he is going to get Kyler Murray back. So I would go with Ertz there. And 2 out of 3, DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham Jr., or Mike Williams. Normally I would say DeAndre Hopkins, but he is still pretty banged up. So just based on sheer health alone, I would probably go with Beckham Jr. and Williams. If you're really battling for a playoff spot or something and you need a high upside guy, boom or bust, I might put in Hopkins over Williams, but I would play Beckham Jr. He would be my steady. I would just... If I was in a good spot, I'd play Williams. If I needed to make a splash, I would try Hopkins for the high upside. Yes, good luck. New England defense has been strong. They had a bunch of people who opted out last season for whatever the illness reason, and they all came back. Plus, they drafted some people. Plus, they got some new free agents this year, and it's all coming together. Belichick is a great defensive mind, so that's all coming together for them. Good game plan. So if I could get my hands on New England's defense, I would definitely try and prioritize that. But full transparency, I'm a guy who basically streams defenses. I think you can pick it up based on matchup week to week. Try to keep my roster as full of wide receivers and running backs and tight ends as I possibly can. So that's my deal. I try to look ahead and see who the Jets are playing, see who Jacksonville's playing, see who Houston's playing, maybe see who Detroit's playing, and hopefully I can get a defense that's playing one of those guys, maybe at home. That's my deal. Otherwise, you're trying to get somebody who gets somewhere between 6 and 10 points on defense. Sometimes if you can get the right matchup, you're going to get your 12, 15 points, and that makes a huge difference. That's my deal there. Check right quick on Twitter and see if we got any new updates late. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in there. Looks like we're doing pretty good on the likes. Really appreciate that, guys. The 36 likes and 41 watchings. Yeah, nothing new since that David Johnson information, so we should be good on that. And like we said, typically 11 o'clock in Eastern time and more likely 11:30 Eastern time
is when the true sit starts come out. The real game time decisions start to show themselves. So we should be good in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll get the real information. Luckily, we don't have too many true game time decisions this week, so we should be okay there. Getting to defense, which good matchups this week should be Indy has Houston. Minnesota's playing Detroit. I did give this little tip to Caesar. Miami's playing the Giants. The Giants are not great on offense already, and Daniel Jones is not playing. It's going to be Mike Glennon starting for them this week. Philly's D gets the Jets. Tampa's D gets Atlanta. There's lots of choices out there, guys. San Fran's D has been pretty stout. They get Seattle. It's tough to play in Seattle with the 12th man, but Seattle's been pretty bad. Russ has been pretty banged up. So those are the matchups I'd be looking for this week. Honestly, like I said, it's the week ahead if you can take advantage. Next week, New Orleans, who's been a really strong defense. New Orleans has the Jets. Seattle has Houston. And Tennessee has Jacksonville. So there you go. And here we come with a question from Adam Richmond. Sony Michel, Ayuk, or Josh Jacobs? Pick 2. We know Deebo Samuel is out, so I'm absolutely going to jump to Ayuk there in that offense. And then it's a question of between Sony Michel and Josh Jacobs. We have got very good health news on Josh Jacobs today. So I would say if it was myself, I would go with Ayuk and Josh Jacobs. 1 second. I think we had a Sony Michel update earlier.
Yeah, Henderson not looking great to play. I would still go Jacobs and Ayuk there. I think Ayuk has a great opportunity with Deebo out, and I think Jacobs is he's still the workhorse there, regardless.
Yo, welcome back, MIA.
Welcome.
We were saying Ayuk.
Look at Odie Fro on top of things behind the scenes. Love it.
Oh, no new late updates, but
Oh, Raven Farm. Good morning. Oh, Raven Farm.
shootsy score. So any games you're looking forward to today more than others, MIA?
Raiders.
Hey,
The two big games
game.
I'm looking. The two big games I'm looking for are tonight's game and tomorrow night's game. I think those are going to be the marquee matchups.
And to agree, Cleveland Baltimore is always a fun game. Just doesn't have as much as it meant to. I would have liked Cleveland to be a little healthier this year, but that's always a good physical game. That should be a good old fashioned football game.
Absolutely. What else we got? What other games look good? Chargers Bengals, that interests me a little bit. That's got some playoff implications. Ravens Steelers, like you said, that's going to be a good one. There's some good divisional games.
Dallas Washington for the NFC East. Oh no, wait, wrong week. Let's check next week's defense.
It's all good. Yeah, the Raiders got Washington coming to town.
Yes.
Yeah, good luck, and you have to think that Russ shows something at some point, but I don't think anything's guaranteed with him. But we'll touch on him when we get into the quarterbacks.
Cassie,
Welcome
you're
back,
right.
Mr.
Probably
Brody,
gonna have
bro.
a big Renfro
Sorry, I
day.
didn't have my mic on. Cassie, I'm hoping for a Renfro day too, honestly. I'd like to see another turnaround week for you. 3 weeks in a row. Play spoiler in your league. I did see something there I wanted to mention on. You guys were talking about the Washington Raiders game. I think that Washington Raiders game is real big for both teams. Washington needs to stay alive in the NFC East, and Raiders need to stay alive in the AFC West. It's an NFC versus AFC game, but it's got some big meaning to it because if the Raiders fall down, and let's say Denver wins, the Raiders lose a possibility of staying close in the division. If the Raiders win and Denver wins, the Raiders are tied with Denver for the lead of the AFC West. So that's a big game for Raiders.
And wild cards, you know what I mean? I think any team in the AFC has to be not just or in the AFC West has to not just be eyeing the division, but eyeing the wild cards. Yeah. And it's tight. I love it. You really only have 3 teams.
Well, and there are 4 teams in the AFC West that are all above 500.
Yeah, you've got 3 teams that are really out of it at this point in the AFC. You got the Jets, you've got the Jaguars, and you got the Texans. The Dolphins would be your next team. That's the only other team that's under 500 in the AFC at 5-7, which that still has a chance. That even has a chance in the division with the Bills 7-4, the Patriots 8-4. One of them has to lose this week.
The next 4 weeks of football gets brutal too for most teams. They start playing divisions teams repeatedly for about the next 3 to 4 weeks in most cases. I know the AFC West just beats up on itself for the next 4 weeks, so we're going to see a lot of this stuff kind of play out over the next couple of weeks about who is actually the leader in the clubhouse. Yeah. You're going to start seeing it in divisions, and we might watch teams like, this is crazy as it might sound, we might see teams like Denver, we might see teams like New England in the next 3 weeks take resounding leads in their division, and nobody ever expected it. Like, nobody expected. I'm not saying Denver will do it, but it wouldn't surprise me to see a team that nobody expected come out of the AFC West. And I'm a Chiefs fan saying that, so it's a possibility there. There was another game I was thinking of that was real important. We've already talked about that Bills game versus New England.
Odefro?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I can hear you on the back end, and Caesar just texted in he can't hear you.
ADAC says your volume's low.
Okay. It's weird that it switched all of a sudden. We'll try this.
Yeah, because you sound fine on our end.
Perfectly clear on this end, yeah.
It's like we just came back from break. All of a sudden, I came back with low volume, too. That's weird.
I mean, think about this AFC East. If the Patriots, who play the Bills twice in the next 4 weeks, next 3 games for them, but 4 weeks with their bye coming up, say they split and Miami gets hot, catches a little fire, Miami could be right in the mix there. We've seen Miami make some late season pushes. I think this is a more mature team down there. I don't know how sold I am on Tua being a great quarterback, but hey, he's competing. He's getting better.
Miami always has a history of pushing New England late in the season.
And they play the very last game of the year.
Oh,
Not easy to go to Miami in December and play in 85, 90-degree weather and humidity when you're not used to it.
When you're not used to it, it is a big change.
It's even further out. They end up playing January 9th is the date of that last game. So you're coming from New England from that cold at that time of year down there.
And pads feel a lot heavier when all of a sudden you're playing in 80-degree weather again. When you've been playing in 25 and 30, all of a sudden you go in there and you're sweating, and you're like, "Oh, this is different."
Now, by the other stretch is we could see the Patriots run right through their next 4 games, beat the Bills twice, beat the Colts, beat the Jaguars, and possibly have that number 1 seed locked up coming into that January 9th game. You never know.
Yep. We got thank you, Ada CDC. I'm glad I'm good now. Frederick Warren coming in with a question here. I think this is a pretty good question. Assuming all are active, I think we know Scott isn't, but we're going to go ahead and assume that he is. Scott, Cooks, or Parker? I'm going to go ahead and answer this real quick on my side and then let you guys take it over. I'm going with Cooks. I'm not even going to give a reason why. I'm just going to say Cooks is my guy on that question because I don't know about Parker yet. All right, I'll give it to Nunya on the second to answer his part.
Okay, so the quick answer is Cooks. Also, Devontae Parker was activated. I'm not sure how involved in the game plan he's going to be yet. I generally like to see, especially with a wide receiver, 1 week of action and activity before I will play him. And from what I hear, I know the question says assuming all are active. Everything I hear and indicate Scott is not. So Cooks is my guy.
MIA.
I think I'm going to go a different route there.
Okay.
I think I'm probably going to go, I think I would go Parker. And if
You're
this
going to
wasn't
take a
freezing
gamble?
up on me.
You're going to take a gamble and hope that they lean away from Waddle this week and go to Parker?
Yeah, if he's active, I think he'll be the man. And this was, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull this up. Because he did this in his return against Buffalo. Sorry, my computer's acting squirrely. I'm just trying to see what week it was.
I'm listening to hold music.
Yeah, if he's on the field, I'm going with him. There's a good chance he hasn't shown when he's come back. He hasn't shown any signs of being a decoy, anything like that. The last game after he missed, this was when he came back against Buffalo, 8 catches for 85 yards. He was the man in that game, low-scoring game. I kind of agree with you guys on the Cooks. Cooks is the only thing over there. Tyrod definitely targets him, so nothing wrong with going with Cooks. I think I would probably lean Parker on that one.
Okay. Taking a flyer.
Yeah. Adam says Gesicki or Logan Thomas PPR. Odifro, you know the Raiders are highly susceptible to tight ends.
Yes, I do.
So I think that bodes well for Thomas. Now, Nunya, I'll throw that to you. On Gesicki, how do you think he performs against that Giants defense?
I mean, the Giants are really strong in the back end, and their safeties are probably their strongest point. So I think that limits Gesicki. And I do agree. I think the Raiders are really vulnerable to the tight end. That Mahomes and Kelsey are just a different class.
Yeah.
But if anybody watches film, you're going to try and take advantage of that. I go Logan Thomas there.
What about you, Odie?
I like the matchup for Logan Thomas, but I'm a big bias for Gesicki after seeing one catch this season. I saw him go up and get a 12-foot ball in the end zone that I didn't think he could do, and I like this cat now.
I saw that play.
Yeah, me and Nunya both saw it.
He's good.
I think our jaws dropped when we saw that catch. And since then, I've seen him continue to be a player. I don't know about the quarterback is that good, and I know we'll talk about Heineke later on today. I think we all have our questions on Tua, so I'm probably going to lean Logan Thomas, but I'm not going to sleep on Gesicki next season. I can tell you that. I will be making sure I have him targeted for draft picks next season in Fantasy League because I do like what I've seen out of him this year. But I think for today, I am going to lean Logan Thomas against that Raiders defense. Not to take a slam at the Raiders, just it is what they tend to give up a lot. Yeah. They tend to do that. So then we got Danon Andrade coming in with a good wide receiver question here. McLaurin, Mooney, or Renfrew? Renfro. Sorry.
Man, that's a tough one because I have to go 100% McLaurin.
Okay.
I love Mooney. I love Renfro. I'm starting them both in multiple leagues today.
Who's
but
covering
I just think
McLaurin? That's the question. Who's
that's the
covering
thing.
McLaurin?
And it doesn't even matter. The Raiders secondary, although they're well improved,
They're getting better
from where they've been. They have nobody that can match up with him. And I just think he's top 2 or 3 best route runners in the NFL. To me, Scary Terry, I don't think there's anybody I start over him that's really rosterable. You know what I mean? That there's a chance that you have somebody that to me, I would even question starting over Terry. But I like both those other guys a lot this week.
None, you go ahead, and then we'll hit Matt's super chat up here. And thank you for that, Matt.
I completely agree. McLaurin is just he's a must start, top 2, 3, 4 wide receiver in the entire game. But wow, what a nice problem to have. When you're Renfro, can't go wrong. Those are absolute starters. If I have them on my team, I'm starting them. Good job drafting. If you're looking for daily fantasy, I'm not sure about dollar values, but if it's me, I'm starting.
McLaurin against Raiders is a great matchup. However, I do like the Renfro against the Washington matchup. Renfro seems like the piece that they had to figure out once the whole rug situation followed away. They replaced him with the Deshaun Jackson, who turned around last week, had a pretty good game, but they still used the crap out of Renfro to move those sticks. And I do think today, barring Josh Jacobs not being 100% still, they'll use Renfro as 11, 12, 13 times today on receptions. Whereas McLaurin, they got Curtis Samuel back. They've got McKissick is hurt, so that takes a little bit away from the Washington passing game. But I think I'm going Renfro here, honestly. I think I just talked myself into it. I like McLaurin, but I think I am going Renfro in a more desperate measure that the Raiders have to use him for.
I think they're trying to, I think, just real quick, I think they're trying to turn Renfro into a Cooper Kupp style
definitely.
receiver.
They have to. They have to have especially with Darren Waller out, they don't have a chain mover. They got to have a 5 to 10 yard chain mover. I look for Renfro to be doing this all game. 10 yard in, 10 yard out, 10 yard in, 10 yard out, and doing his little triple moves too, where he gets people set up, does 2 little moves, and then cuts back in for the third move. That's going to be the 5-second lifesaver for Derek Carr if he's getting pass rushed. That's what I feel like, but we'll see.
I agree.
Matt came in here with a super chat. I do want to hit this up and be real thankful. Again, anytime you guys come in with a question, you don't need to super chat. We 100% appreciate it, but just ask your question. We'll get you answered there. Super chats are much appreciated, 100%, but we'll get your question for sure. With that being said, what's up, guys? Need one for flex full PPR? Sony Michel, Odell, or Rex Burkhead? We'll shoot off with Nunya there first and let him get a good answer in there.
Okay, we did see actually 2 tweets today about Odell Beckham Jr. being more heavily involved in that offense. Rex Burkhead does have a better opportunity today than normally would, but I don't think that elevates him over Odell, especially looking at full PPR. And Sony Michel, I just don't think, regardless, is going to be involved enough in that Rams offense. So for me, it's Beckham Jr. The PPR kind of puts him over the top of Burkhead for me.
Where are you at, Maya?
You know, I think that's a tough one. I think I would. I think I might take the flyer on Burkhead there.
I was going the same route, bro. I was going the same route.
I don't trust Beckham. He really hasn't shown me too much, and that could change real quick. I mean, he's obviously still has the ability. I just think Tyrod, check down city. I'm not expecting too much out of him. I think you're definitely getting the higher ceiling with Odell. If you need a boom or bust, go with Odell. If you need someone that is going to give you the guaranteed 10 points, I would go with Burkhead there, because I think you're getting that on 5 to 6 catches, probably another 40 yards out of the backfield. But
I can't change that. I can't give a better answer than that. So I'm just going to nod my head and say MIA. That's where I'm at. Yep. Thank you again for that super chat. Was it Matt? Yeah, Matt, thank you so much for that super chat. We do appreciate it. I hope that answered your question there. Ada C DC coming in with, I don't even want to play fantasy, but I love the show. Watch every week. Love knowing all the backstories on all the players, dude. We just we love the fact that you're here every week. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you're awesome, man.
You're always here, just livening it up, keeping it light, and flipping us likes and subscribe. So we 100% appreciate that. Plus, you're part of the fam, so
yeah.
We appreciate it. Heidenreich giving the thumbs up on that. We got a question from Mr. Skywalker Live. Noah Fant or Mike Gesicki? Nunya's taking a drink, so I'll throw that one to MIA first.
Well, again, I'll question you about it. How now?
Defense has gotten better. Our linebackers are healthier in KC. Watch out for tight end play. I still think the running game is a possible target for teams against Chiefs defense, but passing defense, much improved.
I think I go Gesicki then.
I like Gesicki. I think Noah Fant's a safety valve, but I don't know who's going to end up throwing the ball for Denver today. They put in Luck last week. I know Bridgewater's playing today, but you got a big pass rush coming at Bridgewater. It's very easy. Lucky's back in that game, or Locke. Sorry, I keep saying Luck, but Locke is back throwing the ball for Denver halfway through that game. So, yeah, I'm kind of rolling with Gesicki on that one. Nunya, where are you on that?
I'm rolling with Gesicki. Like you said before, he's that kind of athlete, and he has shown a relationship with Tua
and progression.
So the only reason I didn't pick him earlier was the matchup. I would pick him over Fant. I like Gesicki a lot.
I like the targets he gets. They got 3 receivers in Denver that they don't always go to Fant all the time. So Gesicki seems to be like they got Waddle and a couple things in Miami, but Gesicki's their chain mover.
Well, and you have to think if Parker comes back and does play, that bodes well for Gesicki.
Yeah, because it spreads those safeties wide, and now Gesicki's got the whole middle of the field to work in. Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah. Whereas I think it's kind of the opposite in Denver, where you have them spreading the ball too much out.
Yep. Let's see here. Sports nutritionist.
Better hit up Lieutenant Likes.
I see that. A C responding to some of that. All right, Mr. Lieutenant Likes coming in with that super chat, guys. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Likes. Good morning to the greatest fantasy football breaker downer dudes on the internet. So Boston Scott over Henderson, both are questionable. I'm gonna go to Nunya on that one because I'm gonna research a little bit so we make sure we get the right information to Adam E. I know he's trying to lock up a playoff spot there in the pro league.
Okay. While he's getting the latest, make sure on here. Austin Scott's up against the Jets, which always bodes well. You know it's going to be a split backfield, and Miles Sanders is going to get the ball. So you have that. And the other issue is Sony Michel and Henderson health. I really would prefer to have my ball carrier playing against the Jets. Jacksonville actually has a pretty strong front seven. So I would lean towards Scott. But again, I'm going to rely on these other guys who are hopefully doing that last-minute research to get you some update on health.
And I'm not seeing anything that's going to keep Darrell Henderson out of the game, but I know he's not 100%. So I'm trying to see if our backup there is going to be the starter or not. I know
if Henderson plays, I go with Henderson.
I kind of am.
If Henderson is even suited up, and we've kind of talked about this before with running backs, yes, you may see a little lighter usage, but if they suit up, if they're filling that active roster spot, they're playing, they're taking hits, they have the ability, it's not like a wide receiver where you have to worry about being a decoy.
Yep.
I just got 2 tweets in from Adam Schefter. Oh, nope, one from Adam Schefter and one from Stacey Dales. Adam Schefter, Boston Scott will play. It was just an illness. It's no type of injury. So he is in.
All right. So you've got to decide now. Adam E's got to decide because the other game is a 4:00 game Eastern time, and the Philly game is a 1:00 Eastern time. So this is a big decision here because Darrell Henderson is a game time decision that they're going to start responding to probably about 2:00 Eastern. I would assume you might find out. So
yeah, maybe if that's me, and really any situation, unless you're dealing with maybe a Christian McCaffrey or something like somebody of that echelon, I might wait out and try to find something else. For me, if Boston Scott's playing, I don't want to take that goose egg, especially this late in the season where, waiver wires are slim. I would either A, start Boston Scott, or B, look and have some kind. If I had some kind of handcuff at the 4:00 for the later games, I may look at waiting on that. But if those are my only 2 options, I'm starting Scott every time, getting that guaranteed player on the field.
Yeah, Adam E, they're saying it's a thigh issue that they're going to have to look at pre-game time on a thigh. you know how it is with a running back. If his legs are not 100%, you're not getting 100% running back. So Sony Michel could get the volume of carries. I'm still with Nunya though. I think if they don't have Darrell Henderson, they go to more of a passing game, and they don't really hand off to Sony Michel that much. That's just the way I see it. But I'm still kind of with MIA that you go with the more certain thing. That way you don't get pitched an offer going into week 14. You're not taking that loss on the week because of an offer or something like that. You want to lock up.
Yeah, I mean, we got Gardner Minshew starting. We got the Jets. We're going to see, I would think, a heavy dose of the run game with Philly trying to just pound the ball, get a win, and get out of there.
Yeah. Right.
Guys, that other tweet was from Stacey Dales, and it is confirming that both Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins are starting against the Bears.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Again, I'll be weary of DeAndre. They're not going to start a quarterback who can't play. Kyler's not going to run if he can't run. But DeAndre, I am still weary on, because they have used him as a decoy already this season when he came back off injury, where he got 0 catches, but they ran his butt down the field 100 times during the game, no problem. They didn't throw it to him. They didn't even target him but once. But they used him as a decoy. I could see that possibly happening again, opening up Rondell Moore, AJ Green, these other guys to have better games. Zach Ertz, yeah. So just be wary of that. If you got a DeAndre Hopkins, there is a chance he pitches you a 1 or 2 pointer, but he'll be on the field. So
yeah, I think Ertz and I think Connor benefit the most by Hopkins just being out on the field.
Yeah, oh yeah. Again, that spreads those safeties, gets those cornerbacks off of the 5-yard press a little bit, and it gives that tight end a little more room to operate over the middle, especially depending if they're playing cover 2 or something like that. Let's see here. So I don't look like we've got any questions. We've been back for a little bit. I'm sorry, Odie, tonight Mahomes goes down. Just wiped a tear.
I guess I got to root for Denver in that game. I'm rooting for a tie.
Oh, really?
That would really throw. Yeah, why not?
Mess things up, wouldn't it? Oh, that would throw.
I mean, you guys have a game lead on everybody else. Oh, I need you to lose, so it wouldn't be the worst thing. And we've already beat Denver once.
Chargers got the tiebreaker on us because they beat us. Then Denver would have the tiebreaker on Kansas City, but the Raiders.
We would have the tiebreaker on Denver at this point. You would have the tiebreaker on us. The Chargers have the tiebreaker on us.
Chargers would have the tiebreaker.
Setting up for a wild finish, man. I like it. I like it.
Mm-hmm. AFC West can be a crazy year to watch. Good idea, gentlemen. I think I'm going with Scott because he's my only other option besides Henderson. Adam E with that. I think it's a wise choice.
Yeah, I think you want to be safe there.
I've looked at your league a lot. I think you're in like the top 5% or the top 5 teams, and you want to lock up that playoff spot. Going crazy and getting a 0. It's not going crazy, but pitching a Henderson and getting a 0 is not going to be the best. Going towards that plan. All right, so I'm going to move the defensive forward. We'll go ahead and roll through defense. I know that's never a super big one. It's an easy streamer almost play for Nunya, and for me, usually, I've been rolling with that Denver defense, though, or that Dallas defense, though, just because it's been so beautiful, man. I rolled through that. Hold on. Here we go. Didn't show up on your guys' side. 1 second. There we go. All right. Okay, so we got Philly versus New York Jets. They're scheduled for 8.8. That's going to be, again, up in East New Rutherford. Is that how you say it? Is it East Rutherford?
No, it's East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Okay, yeah. East Rutherford, New Jersey. All right. Then you got Indy again in the Dome against Houston. And then we got Arizona going to Chicago. What we believe is going to be a rainy, cold game. They're in Illinois, up in Chicago against the Dome normal Arizona Cardinals. So that could be an interesting game. A lot of times there's cleat issues, glove issues, especially coming from warm temperature to cold weather. Does the quarterback need gloves? Does the quarterback need one of those pockets to warm his hands up in? How are QB center exchanges? How are running back center exchanges? Or running back quarterback exchanges? things to watch for when you're watching games like that as the winter progresses. What defense did you stream this week, Nanya?
I will tell you in a second. That's how bad I don't even know. But 1 second, I will tell you. I have this week active defense is Philly against the Jets, and I picked them up last week.
Nice.
I like MIA. What are you rolling with this week?
I actually picked up your boys in 2 leagues.
Wow. Okay.
Kansas City, yeah.
Okay.
That defense has looked impressive. They really have.
Pass rush has improved a lot. I got lucky.
100% my thinking, Caesar.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
I got to see what that was. I want to see what that was. What did he say?
He just asked if I was more bullish on the Giants D or the Raiders D, and that's why I'm leaning with Heineke over Tua, and that's exactly it. I went with Heineke as a quarterback. I have benched Russ Wilson, and my choices were Heineke or Tua, and I didn't want Tua against the Giants. I also do have a running back from Miami, so I don't want to set my team up with
Heineke in the dome, too. Heineke in the dome, I think the quarterback always gets a little bit extra as compared to playing outside.
Yeah.
That was my thinking.
So, I'm sorry, Nanya, or MIA, what defense did you say you were streaming this week?
The Kansas City Football
That's right.
Chiefs.
You said you grabbed those, and then I got lucky and played Dallas, which had that ridiculous point grab in the third and fourth quarters of that Thursday night game this week. Was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. It was nice. It got me a save because my stupid butt decided to start Alvin Kamara, thinking he was only going to be questionable into that game. And, I got an over, so... Yep, even the fantasy gurus make bad mistakes all the time, so guys, it's very possible. I wouldn't even call myself a guru here, but in other leagues, I did stream some other different defenses this week. I went with a Vikings D against Detroit. I like that lineup there. I got sketchy quarterbacks, and they haven't really produced any positive points, so I'm going to take that Vikings D this week.
Josh Dyer coming in with a question there. Burkhead versus Collins versus A. Peterson. Help, it's getting ugly out there. 16-team league. If I have those 3 options, I'm starting Burkhead.
Yeah.
I am too. Collins and Peterson are going to vulture against each other. They're starting in the same performing backfield. I don't think Peterson's going to catch that lightning in a bottle. We've discussed it already. He didn't do it when he got his chance in Tennessee, which I believe has a better offensive line than Seattle. Burkhead has the chance to be the lead back today while, the offense isn't great. My choice for sure there is Burkhead.
I echo that sentiment.
Yeah.
I definitely like that, the Burkhead chances of passing from a Tyrod Taylor running for his life.
Yeah.
You guys know how I feel about Adrian Peterson, and we all know Alex Collins is clearly not what they want in Seattle, or they wouldn't have went and got Adrian Peterson. So, that being said, I do think Rex Burkhardt is going to get the most target/attempts today over those two, splitting it, kind of like Nanya said, vulturing away from each other. So, yeah, I got to go with Burkhead there. I just think it's the smart move. That being said, we've all given our defenses. Is there any defense that you're out there this week that you didn't necessarily play, but you're kind of interested in watching to see how they handle themselves this week? I'm interested in that Cincinnati defense to see what they do. I think if they can put up a good game this week, it shows that they're moving forward and continuing towards a playoff spot and maybe an AFC North division title.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that, and they kind of, Denver shut the Chargers down last week, so we could see if Cincinnati could do the same.
Buffalo's defense versus a young quarterback trying to win his first division title. What's the other one? Baltimore standing up against Pittsburgh, finally starting to move their offense a little better with Rothelisberger. I ain't going to say it's a great offense yet, but they're starting to pass the ball with Deontay Johnson and Claypool a little more fluidly, so I am interested to see how Baltimore stands up to that. But NFC-wise, I can't think of too many games NFC-wise that are like I want to watch this defense do good because we already know what the Rams have and could be if they played well. But
You know what? I think this week, Tampa against Atlanta, it is a division game.
Okay.
They want to really make a point, and I think that against that offense they really can. And I also think San Francisco against a beat up Seattle. San Francisco has kind of changed themselves to running in defense. They can take more control of that NFC West if they kind of stomp Seattle. So I'm interested to see if that's the game plan.
I like that. I'll be keeping an eye on both those two. Yeah. You think of anything, Nunya? Or not Nunya, MIA? Sorry about that.
Yeah, those I think are the big ones. I think everything else that's interesting in the NFC is more intra-division stuff like that Raiders Washington matchup. Cardinals Bears, I think will be looks in his return.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's big for the rest of the season. You know,
Bears defense not great this season, but they put up a couple good games here.
Yes, exactly. And I'm telling you, I think Dalton has a little bit more experience there right now, obviously, than Fields, and I almost want to pick Dalton up and start him over Taylor and Wilson, man.
Go with your gut.
I just feel a big game coming out of him. I think Murray might be a little rusty, you know, and that's not to say that they're not going to put up some numbers, but Soldier Field, December, still a tough place to play. You know, I don't care.
Good rapport with what's the name? The wide receiver who's going nuts lately?
Mooney, yeah.
Darnell Mooney.
I'll tell you what, right now, if the reports are true about what's going to happen in Chicago this afternoon in that game, I am dropping any kicker in that game. I'm not kicking in a Chicago win game. Like I'll find.
Yeah, see that's the only thing that's making me lean away from Dalton is that it could be just heavy doses of Montgomery, Dalton getting some sneaky passes in there. They like to run some wide receiver
is
screens.
A viable flex running back 2 in this game if the weather is. Do you think he's even worth putting on a look at today? Do you think it's all Montgomery?
I think it's mostly Montgomery.
Okay.
When he's healthy, that's how they do it.
Yeah.
Herbert gets some third down stuff.
Decisions. I'll make this decision when we get to quarterback.
Yeah. You listen to the chat. They might know better. You know, they might have a better thing for it. All right. So that's our defenses for the day. Get our butts over to the old favorite, everybody's favorite, the old tight ends. We had some performances last week. I would assume we're going to have some performances this week as well.
Yeah, I think tight ends become more important as the season goes on, and especially with weather. Yes, exactly.
Not that it affects carries much because Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake carry the ball most, but Jalen Richard just went on that illness restricted list.
Oh, that's not good.
That moves Mr. Drake into a different situation, or does the other guy? Is there a fourth running back that moves more into the second running back situation, or does Drake now take over second and third running back roles?
I think that bodes well for Drake, and we're undefeated. I think when Drake's touched the ball more than 12 times, I believe 12 or 15 times every game that he's done that, we're undefeated this year. So
I can tell you in 3 leagues, I know Drake is sitting out there right now. I don't know.
Flex, everybody.
Yeah, you might.
And I'll tell you what, if they key in on Renfro. I think that opens up Drake out of the backfield. Drake's a much better. I love Josh Jacobs, and he is the workhorse there. But as far as catching passes out of the backfield, I like Drake a little bit better.
Yeah, he's got better hands, and he seems to just produce when he does catch it. I don't know what it is about Josh Jacobs. When he runs the ball, he looks like he's ready to hit the hole correctly, but then chooses the wrong hole. And he does that with screen passes, too, sometimes. It's like, are you seeing what other people are seeing? But Drake seems to hit the right hole when they do a screen pass to him, and I don't know. I don't see him run that much, so I can't really talk about his run game. But when he does catch the ball out of the backfield, he does seem to be a better catcher. I thought there was another guy besides Jalen Richard, though.
Peyton Barber.
That's who it is. Okay. They just moved away from Barber, right? He's just a runner only in close yardage. Or
well, he's mainly a runner. Like when we seen Jacobs go down, Drake never got elevated to the starter. Barber stepped in, played that role. Drake kind of stayed in his own role, and I think we'll keep seeing Drake's role kind of expand as we go on. Richard Ed hurts us on special teams. He's a big part of our special teams game, so that hurts there, but. We should be just okay, hopefully.
All right, so last week we saw the return of Gronk. I believe the real return of Gronk. He might have played a couple plays the week before, but last week was the real return of Gronk. We know, and we'll get more into this in the wide receiver section, but we know AB, I would assume. Gronk has two other tight ends there. They're going to probably play him slowly, bringing him back, even though he had a great game last week. Do you see him doing 24 points average the rest of the season, or do you think they're going to kind of chip away and try to keep him healthy the rest of the season? I'm weary on playing Gronk, but I also am like, it's stupid not to play him. So I just kind of want to see what you guys. I know Nunya is a Gronk holder, so I do definitely want to see what your guys' opinion on that. I'll start with MIA first, since Nunya's got the Gronk. We'll let him finish it up.
I think barring any setbacks, I think if you have Gronk at this point, unless you had him behind a Kelsey, I'm starting him from here. He's back. He's
okay.
I think he'll be just fine. I think he's like Brady in the sense of even though Gronk has been hurt, I think the guy still keeps his body in peak physical shape. Puts a lot of effort into it, puts everything in there, and let's not forget he's a great run blocker too. He's just as important in the run game as he is in the pass game. I like him. I think he'll continue to. I don't know if Brady shared his secret aging potion with him over there. Maybe gave him a little dip of it.
Avocado
just
ice cream.
enough to let him go on the IR for 4 to 5 games, get a nice break every year, and keep it moving. Maybe later in the season, depending on how things shake out, I could see him maybe backing off a little bit on him. But for now, I think it's just like I said earlier with Brady this time of year. It's not taking what they have and laying back. It's tuning up, and I think that it'll be business as usual.
I like it.
What about you, Nunya?
Yeah, cat's out of the bag. I did go actively try and get him. I pursued him. I traded for him. So I'm a Gronk holder. I watched Bruce Arians last year kind of flip the switch, and that team went on a crazy run of offense and defense the second half of the season, kind of right after their bye. I'm also a Kelsey holder. I needed him for last week to fill in, but now I just have Gronk as a flex. But I don't think they're going to back off. My concern is that playoff weeks may get the load management. I think at the very, very end, he may sit or play the first half.
Your week 16 or 17, if barring it goes that far, could be questionable. Yeah.
I knew eyes wide open. I needed to fill in for Kelsey, and I think he's a difference maker most of the rest of the season.
Okay.
But I also have somebody else. If he gets load managed at the end, I'm preparing.
Good. The smart, and Nunya is the planner, so you guys should be taking lessons from this, because if you are looking like you are going to be a playoff player, you got to start questioning which players may start sitting because their team is already starting to get to that playoff level where they're going to lock up their real legitimate playoff spot and then start sitting their best players so they don't get injured before the playoffs. As a fantasy player, especially if you're new, you want to pay attention to these things. There's not too many teams in the AFC West, or AFC, I don't want to say West, that are in that position where they can be like, okay, we can start sitting players and cruise through to the playoffs. The NFC is a little bit different. some of those divisions are almost locked up, especially with Seattle as low as it is. I think if the Rams...
But that's where I think it
Green
gets
Bay.
tricky this year.
Yeah.
Careful in Green Bay.
I think normal situations where we might see that, we may not see this year with the only having the one bye.
True.
So you look at the NFC. You got the Bucks at 8-3, the Packers at 9-3, the Cardinals at 9-2, Cowboys at 8-4. So you don't have anybody. The only way I see it is sitting going down the stretch, because that means they have the number 1 seed locked in. They're not fighting as much for the 2 seed anymore, because that 2 seed used to get you a bye, so it used to mean a lot more. Now the 2 seed, I think, will have a little less meaning. And if we do see, so say we see the Cardinals win out and the Cardinals get to 13-2, 14-2, and everybody else sitting with 4 losses or so, then we can see, especially with Tampa, where the rest of their division kind of it doesn't look like anyone's really going to compete for it. These records are even inflated. You got the Falcons at 5-6, the Panthers at 5-7, Saints at 5-7. Are any of those teams a viable competitor for the Bucks in that division? No.
Going into the last 3 weeks of the season, it's not.
Right.
They're going to sit certain players. They're going to give Evans time off. They're going to give Godwin half a game to not have to play. They're going to definitely give Gronkowski, especially. Now, here's the one thing: if Tampa Bay's the what's it called, the bye holder, you might see Gronk play in week 6.
Fighting for that, it's going to be worth putting Gronk out there for a week to get that week off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Because they'll get the recovery time on the bye week.
Yeah,
exactly. Otherwise, if they've already locked it up in week 15 and they know they're already getting the bye starting, let's say 2 weeks from now, they know they've already locked the bye up, I don't expect Gronk to play in week 16 or 17. If they've already locked it up in week 15, I don't expect Gronk to get any game time in week 16 or 17.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, we got 18 weeks this year, right?
It's 18 weeks, yep.
18 weeks for 17 games, yep.
And most playoffs, I think with our fantasy stuff, we're all done by week 17. It's over.
A lot of them 17 will be the last week.
Most fantasy leagues don't play the last week. I've been in a couple fantasy leagues over my history that I like doing the week 18 because I think it's harder to win in week 18 than ever a championship. But a lot of people don't like doing that. So
my big league, we used to do that. We didn't have playoffs. We just went right till the very last game of the season, and then the person with the best record won.
I like having the championship game on the final week, because I think it's really hard as a championship game to go and find players that will win you in that last week. But then there's the argument, I know Nunya's shaking his head, that like you built this team all year and then you have to go and rebuild a team in week 18 essentially, or you might lose 3 of your players and the other guy didn't. So you got to worry about that. But I used to play IDP a lot, which is defensive players, and that's so fun in week 18 to have to go find 3 guys that are going to get you 10 tackles apiece. That's hard to do, but we could do that next year.
Caesar C asking Wentz over Kyler.
Oh, that's such a tough question. That's awful.
It's perfect segue for what we're about to talk about, though, because Jack Doyle and Mo Alley Cox, I think, are crucial parts of the Colts offense going forward, especially in a running style offense that they are now perpetuating all over the place. Mo Alley Cox and Jack Doyle at a dual tight end. They haven't had great success with their receivers all that much this year. They've been throwing a little bit more to the tight ends and shorter pass routes. But I think both these tight ends present a good situation for Carson Wentz to have good games. Maybe not 400-yard games, but definitely 250, 3-touchdown games. So I'm kind of liking that Wentz look this week. Maybe different times on different weeks, but Kyler coming off of 3 weeks could be just as hairy as Russ was a couple weeks ago, But I'll shoot that over to Nunya.
Yeah, I mean, this should be a no-brainer. I should just say Kyler Murray and kind of giggle and move on. But he's been out for a while. They're playing at Soldier Field in weather. Oh, I hate this question, Caesar, but I have to go Wentz here. I really do. This week and this week only, but I go Wentz. What about you, MIA?
Let's see if it 3 out of 3 here. Doctor's approval.
I'm going Kyler Murray.
Nope.
If I drafted Murray, I drafted Murray high. I like Wentz. I like that offense. I just think today it's going to be the Jonathan Taylor show.
Okay.
I don't think there's going to be much need for Wentz. I think that tight end play was kind of an anomaly last week in the sense of it was brilliant game planning.
Okay.
Against Tampa. They knew the run was going to be keyed in on. Did their thing. I like Wentz, but like I said, I don't see the necessity for him today. But again, bad weather. Wentz in a much better situation today. Obviously, Indy playing in Houston, playing in a dome. I don't know, Caesar. It's hard for me to, but you know what? I'm the guy that put Russ back in his first week back. So, what the hell do I know?
To whip it back around to tight ends, I kind of disagree with you there on MIA on the game planning part. I feel like Jack Doyle was a necessity and not the game plan. I think Indianapolis came into that game to try to run it against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay turned the script on them and started running it on them and pass rushing the crap out of Indy. And that pushed the passing game to go to Doyle and not to Zach Pascal and Pittman as much. But this week, I'm kind of with you that they're going to pound the ball again to Taylor. And I think that, you know how that works. It levels up.
I think it opens up for the tight. I just don't think we're going to see that kind of production.
Probably not.
Tight end
no, I don't think
week.
they're going to. Either one of them is going to produce 20 points again this week. But I do think you can lean on those two tight ends. And as we've always say, certain tight ends are touchdown. What's the word? Touchdown dependent. So I think both of these guys are touchdown dependent. But there are going to be games where you're going to see Jack Doyle and or Mo Alley Cox get 18, 15 points. For the remainder of the season, I don't think you're going to be able to tell which guy is going to get it. I think that's the hard call.
That's the hard call.
It's kind of like the Jared Cook Parnham thing going on in San Diego or in the Chargers team. You don't know which guy's going to get it from week to week, but somebody's going to get it.
Even up in New England when they're both on the field, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith.
There you go. Yeah. And Hunter Henry been on a 7-game tear. We'll get into that in a minute in the next one. But, you're right about that. Do we got any questions coming in?
TikTok asking about James Robinson.
Okay.
Have we got any update on him?
The last one was he is expected to play. It's a heel and ankle issue, but that was updated at 8:36 this morning, so that is a today update, not yesterday. So
awesome.
I always do this with a caveat with a running back with a leg, foot, or heel problem. It's a running back with a leg, foot, or heel problem. That's their get up and go. It's not a hand issue for a wide receiver. You know what I mean? That's their whole bread and butter for a running back is their legs. So you know you're not getting 100% running back.
Yeah, the tough thing is we've played this game with Robinson all year because I'm a Robinson holder, and it's a week in, week out thing.
All day, every day.
He is playing the Rams.
Yeah, it does seem like, again, the same kind of thing that we were talking about earlier. When he does play, he's fully ready to go. So we'll see.
All right.
I don't have many options. My backup to him is Drake. So if I have to go with the Drake, I'm okay with that.
I love the Drake. I hate the Drake.
Yep.
Sorry.
Gotta love the Drake.
Got this Mark Lambert question.
Okay.
It's a super flex in full PPR, and it looks like he's available in this super flex to use quarterbacks.
Yep.
D-Hop, Glennon, or Dalton?
Dalton. I'll play with Glennon.
100%.
D-Hop is in my eyes, D-Hop is I've said it a couple times today, I think he could be used as a decoy. He may have passing plays, but I think Dalton in the rain, in that situation, could be ugly for Dalton, but I still think he's getting you 250 yards and a couple touchdowns.
Ball out of Glennon's hands.
Yeah, they don't want to put him in a situation where
They want to run and play defense.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Dalton, still has that ability to push the ball downfield, and I think Montgomery coming out of the backfield, I think getting Mooney involved in some screen passes if it is a rainy day, I think big play potential's there. I'm not buying Glennon.
You guys that just want to come in, Birdie, always on top of things, coming in here with a little chat. This is not fantasy football related, but he is thanking us for putting up a show, but he's just giving us a heads up. Check your crypto wallets. If you have money to buy some more dips, you maybe want to think about it. We're never going to tell you what to do, but you might want to take a look at it because he is absolutely right. There is another giant crypto dip going on at this moment. We are a stock and crypto channel, so we are going to alert you of that every time we can.
And if you don't have money to buy those dips, don't look at your crypto wallet.
That's right.
Football right now.
Go watch. What's that movie?
Just as an aside, guys,
I think
let you know Bitcoin is at 48.5. Ethereum is barely holding 4,000. Cardano is at $1.32. Doge is at 16.7. Heads up,
Wow.
guys.
My son's Doge just went to the red, Nunya. Thanks a lot for telling me that.
If you don't want to look at crypto scores or hear the crypto scores after we're done here today, a good idea might be to go check out a movie that we've been talking about, that 8-Bit Christmas.
AMC!
Yes.
It's a holiday time, so go watch a holiday movie and wait for your crypto to return.
Watch some football.
All right, so let's get back to the fantasy. Thank you, Birdie. I hope you have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you, Birdie. Great to see you.
I know it's December 5th in.
I love your family.
It's December 5th over there, so they are doing their Christmas celebration today. Birdie is, I believe that's right. They put their shoes out and they get their gifts today.
Yes, I hope the wooden shoes got returned, Birdie.
Filled with presents.
Hopefully the weather was nice today. I know Birdie said that they normally like to go skiing and go see the snow, and I hope they just had a nice, beautiful day up there.
I would wish nothing better than them to get a little blanket snow where he's at today.
So you can see it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to bring us back full circle here to Dallas Knox and the Buffalo Bills. Dallas Knox had a decent week last week. He's been picking it up the last couple of weeks. I think it's about 4 weeks straight he's had upward number of things. Cole Beasley on and off weeks, so it's kind of like they're working in tandem there to work the underneath. And then as you see that, Stephon Diggs' numbers have gone up the last couple of weeks as they've used the ladder situation to work the passing game out. I know people in Buffalo are still not happy with Josh Allen, but from an outside view, the offense seems to be working better the last couple of weeks, even though the results haven't been as great. I don't know if I'm wrong in saying that. Maybe in my view, the offense is working better. What are the words on Dallas Knox up there and his output? And I know you were talking about it earlier with the quarterback. What's Buffalo fans not happy about with that offense?
Not the tight end play. They love some Dawson Knox.
Dawson, he's out in Dallas. Sorry.
He, we've kind of followed him all year. Relationship. He kind of took over the role that Beasley was, the safety valve, and I think if there's bad weather tomorrow, especially, and that New England secondary is pretty nice, I think they'll try to shut down Diggs, and I think they'll force kind of Knox to have a big game tomorrow if Buffalo wants to be successful.
Okay. But are they crying about the passing? I know you're saying that they're if they don't get a dome, Josh Allen's not going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Are they? Yeah,
that's mainly the gripe right now.
How are they saying this about a guy that can throw 80 yards in outdoor wind? That's where I get lost. I know we'll talk more about Josh Allen quarterbacks.
That's Bills fans, man. That's
Yep. Have one bad game. What have you done for us lately?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the Binance over here and not the chat, so I didn't see if there's any questions coming through. And again, Birdie, we love you. Thank you so much. I love football games, says Lauren Mendez. We love football game too. Glad you're here with us, though. All right, sorry. I'm just making sure we're all caught up. I know you guys are looking at that too. So let's go into a nice discussion on projections for the tight ends here. We all know who's leading that. We know who's leading that. My boy. my boy.
Yeah, of course. That's because my boy's out this week.
Right, I know. And that is painful, but that'll lead us into one of our buy or sell conversations here in a moment. So we see Kelsey's up at the top up there. Kansas City at home against Denver. Like I said, Patrick Mahomes has never lost to Denver. I tend to think that trend doesn't change tonight, but all trends change in some time. So there is a possibility that Denver finally puts one on us. It's more than likely not going to happen in front of this fan base at home.
One night or something and try to put together a video and put it out like early in the week and just let a video be out there, you know what I mean?
Sounds good.
Just to try it out, get our feet wet with like some little video editing in like a non-pressure situation, you know what I mean?
And we are back.
Damn it!
Pisses
That's
me
why you
off.
burnt into your phone.
Either way, great job, both you guys, on this.
Oh, thank you.
For real. Like, we can't avoid shit like this, but
No, I mean, all we do is hold it together.
the
Oh, we are back.
production level,
We're live.
the knowledge. Either way,
Facts.
great job, both you guys, on this.
Oh, thank you.
Hola, y'all.
Like,
Let me
Hurry.
check.
can't.
Some type of an airing of the grievances around one of those Festivus sticks at our,
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yes.
a great idea.
our holiday party.
Nice.
Started learning how to do all that because I've been wanting to make videos even for you. If they aren't going to put me on the stream anymore, I was going to start making videos that you could use.
Hell yeah.
Be like, well, I'll stay busy in the background. So,
I still love the idea of just having stuff, so for when people take a break, having like a couple minute video to just throw up there.
We may be back, guys.
oh, look at this. I believe we are clean. Back. We back like zip off shorts, Caesar C says. I'm gonna bring the cameras back in. Wearing again like the 1980s and
Oh, those were cool. I like those.
what were those hypercolor shirts?
The ones.
And
Hypercolor.
we're spinning.
Oh, you're kidding me.
We're back on.
Let's see how long
Eastern
it takes
time.
us to bring our camera.
Okay, now I'm spinning.
We spinning real fast.
I'm
now.
spinning. Whoa, 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 I'm spinning.
You spin me right.
We're all gonna come up with the spit songs that have spinning in them. Darn it, I can't think of another one.
I completely forgot, and I still don't know how that works. I don't know if the people on Twitch can hear us when this happens. Oh, we're back, maybe?
I don't see our pictures yet.
No.
We are definitely behind. Or maybe my chat's not live. Hold on. Oh,
I'm not behind. Oh, there we go.
we live.
There we are.
Holy moly, we have live connection with 3 cameras and no spinny deal. I believe Bulldog Trading is back live on the channel.
Woo!
This is exactly Sports Nutritionist. I just want to go back to that. You are 100% right. You may not be in the channel anymore, but that's what happens when you talk about crypto dips. They decide to nuke us. Yep. Sadly. For the 9 of you who stuck around, we 100% appreciate it. We know you, the fam, the real ones, and we really appreciate each and every one of you. We back like Cam Newton. That's right. That's right, Sports Nutritionist.
That's better than Cam.
Yeah.
And if you
so
watch
we'll be
Dude, those Green Man outfits are only like $22 on Amazon.
I know. I wonder if I could put on a Green Man outfit and somehow get like animal hands, because you'd have to. If I had like a.
Oh, what is this? Are we back on the YouTube? Back? Did we just give away your animal secret? I think we did.
Okay. And we are back live here at Bulldog Trading in the Fantasy Football Hour. Welcome, folks.
Welcome back. I'm gonna bring our cameras back, gentlemen. Let's see if we can finish this tight end section of Bulldog Fantasy today. Let's see if that can be possible. All right, Mr. Nunya, Mr. MIA, and Mr. Odifro coming back to the screen. All right, so we left off. We all know what Travis Kelce did. And thank you again to anyone who stuck around. We really appreciate that. We're sorry about these technical difficulties. We got solar flares going all around the world today, apparently. So we're just going to have to deal with that. But George Kittle last week, we talked about him a lot. I believe in buy or sell. All 3 of us were kind of up on him last week. Ended up having a decent game. And he's projected to have another decent game against poor Seattle defense today. Do you guys think he is the key to San Francisco's win against Seattle tonight? I'll start with MIA on this one.
Yeah, but I don't think he necessarily needs to have a huge performance. I think he'll be big in the running game, big in blocking out there. If they're able to contain Russ and Russ doesn't show any signs of improvement, I think San Fran can just pound the ball all day. But I expect him to be more involved in the passing game with Debo out.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that when I asked the question. Where are you at on that, Nunya?
Yeah, especially that last point. They're going to lean more heavily on him. I think Shanahan wants to keep leaning on the run and defense. That is what has them on that streak. But a lot of that had Deebo Samuel almost as another running back. Like he was really carrying the load both ways. So I think while Kittle is a big part of the run game and blocking, I think that he is going to get more opportunities this week in the pass game.
I know this has nothing to do with Kittle, but I'm going to ask this question. Do you think the overuse of Deebo Samuel as a running back is the reason he's out this week? Or do you think it's just a random injury that happens to players across the league? Because I like the use of him as a running back. I just hope it's not detrimental to their team because he got hurt.
I tend to think it's football. I mean, if I'm an offensive coordinator or if I'm a head coach and I want to hire an offensive coordinator, I want to get the ball into my playmakers' hands, my electrical people as fast and as often as I can. So if it's a screen, if it's an end around, if it's some kind of gadget play and Debo's eating them up like that, no, I mean, unfortunately, average NFL career is 3 years for a reason. I use them.
Yep. It's working.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead, Am. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say I think you have to put it in his hands. Obviously, more wear and tear, taking more hits is always going to contribute, but I don't think that's necessarily the reason why.
Yeah, I just was interested in that. I don't think it was either. I think that he's a big boy and he's strong. He can play. I think it was just a random injury, and I would like to continue to see San Francisco use him in that running back aspect a lot more because, like I was saying earlier, there are players right now in the league that are they're transversing what we knew as a wide receiver and a tight end, or a wide receiver and a running back, and you're seeing these receivers who are 6'3", 250 pounds, able to run like a Barry Sanders would. I don't want to say as good as Barry Sanders, but Cordarrelle Patterson can cut on a dime. We've seen Deebo Samuels do it now too. As a running back, they can cut on a dime. That's important because that's yards after the catch when they do catch it as a receiver, and as a running back, it catches defenses way off kilter, and then they're able to get long plays on them. So I'm interested in seeing it, and I think George Kittle bringing it back to the tight end helps make that happen for San Francisco because he's able to pull so much defense with him. The Chiefs are able to do it with Kelsey. If you have a strong tight end, you're able to manipulate defenses in a lot of ways. And again, I'm kind of bringing it back tight end circle here, but you got players like Mark Andrews, Kittles, and Kelsey, Pitts, some of the other guys that you see, not necessarily Gronkowski, but they're able to make your offense look different and do different things because of where they pull defenses. Waller.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got Mark Andrews going against Pittsburgh tonight in a big AFC North game. We got Kyle Pitts, basically one of the only two pieces of offense they have there going against Tampa Bay. I think we all know how that's going to end up against Atlanta. And then, of course, we got Gronkowski. We've already talked about it a little bit up against Atlanta, Tampa Bay's offense. It's going to be fine. I'm going to move on from these three unless you guys have any comments. I think we all know Kyle Pitts and Tampa. We know where that's at. You guys want
kind of with the matchup after seeing what Indy did with their tight ends against Tampa last week, but they don't have a running game. I think they'll probably be able to key in on Pitts. We have oh, there we go. Did we come back quick this time? Yep, and we're back.
Nice.
I'm gonna freeze myself for a couple seconds.
Pitts had 5 for 73 last time that they played against Tampa. And what was that, week 2?
Oh, are we back? I'm sorry. No,
No, you're good.
I was doing a freeze. Sorry.
You guys are troopers, man. At least we do it together. If any one of us was like a dick, this would
this would be terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, just like that. And I probably just said that. They probably
You
just
sure might have.
That might be a bad word.
If we've got no, that's Richard Meat. That's what we were talking about.
Oh, that was so good yesterday.
We back like flats on a Cadillac. Jinxed it. That's right, Caesar. You jinxed it. No, you're good. I think we're back. We're kind of foggy, but I think we're back. We are experiencing... Oh, that's Nunya writing that. I'm reading the chat. I'm just looking for things to do.
All right, tight ends. Moving on.
You're right.
You gotta,
Careful,
you
if
gotta
that's
get-
C. Santo, you might be talking about our good friend Harry.
Exactly.
Lasagnas. All right, let's see if we
Let's
can
move
get
on.
to the buy or sell. There's a big buy or sell week really for tight ends. Couple little nice little pieces of information coming through. So we know D. Waller is out, and I'm gonna let Nunya kind of run away with this one because I want to see what his information on the Foster Moreau replacement, who's already done this once this week or once this season. He got 2 touchdowns the last time he played for Darren Waller, and we know Derek Carr is real huge on him. So, what are you thinking about this Foster Moreau replacement this week?
Obviously, he's not going to do what Waller is capable of doing, but he's capable. He's got good hands. I'm not expecting anything huge out of him, but if he's a fill-in for you, even if you had Waller, I'd be fine playing him in that handcuff spot. Not going out and looking for him if I have a established tight end, but could be a play maybe in some daily.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that as a cheap play, as a tight end grab, as daily, the last minute. Yeah. Nunya, what are you thinking about Foster Moreau? I know we've only seen him once this season, I believe, as a starter.
Yeah, that daily is a really good point. I think he might be a very good cheap value in daily. I think Gruden.
I've none, yeah.
Okay, in the last 5 minutes, she's right. 400.
Oh, yeah. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Are we back? We're back? There we are.
We're back.
Right as I said, boom, 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 boom.
Nice.
We're bringing it in. All right, so let me get my point in about Foster Moreau before we get another white circle here. He had the 2 touchdowns, and Derek Carr seemed to really like him. So I am kind of bullish on watching this one thing because I almost think if he's here next year, Derek Carr's here, and he really likes this Foster, let's say it works out well today, Darren Waller's trade property possibly. There's a lot of teams in the NFL would pay a lot of dollars to get Darren Waller in their offense. So I'm watching that.
Well, and let's not forget, Waller was a Gruden guy. Waller was brought in by Gruden. Gruden scooped him off of Baltimore's practice squad. So there's not going to be as much attachment there. And we've been, we did it with Khalil Mack. We did it with Amari Cooper. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
The organization there does not have a problem selling blue chips for more possibilities.
Yeah.
And I could see, or in the other sense, if Moreau does this again this week, 2 touchdowns, just like Nunya said, the Raiders might be looking to sell in the offseason because they've got an up-and-coming tight end that at least looks like he could be a starter somewhere.
Yeah, and I think it depends on what their plans with Carr are.
Right.
Because if they do look into bringing in a new quarterback, you would love to have a guy like Waller there to kind of center it around. Mm-hmm. So, I look at Derek Carr and say, well, the guy still has the most passing yards in the NFL right now, so he's not underperforming by any means as far as what he's had to deal with this year. So I'm still on the Carr train. I don't see us moving on from him just yet, but there's the critical
6 games
I
left.
like to blow it Derek Carr part of the season left. You know what I mean? And I think this is going to dictate this next stretch is for sure going to dictate his future with the Raiders.
Nunya, did you have anything else to add? No. All right. So as you guys can probably see here on these points are pretty low for some of these buy or sell, and I picked them because I thought they were more discussion pieces than they were actual point getters. Hunter Henry's a little bit different. I think Foster Moreau has a chance of getting points, and I think we all know Hunter Henry has played decent most of the season. In fact, the last 7 games, he's got 7 touchdowns. But he's fell off. Actually, it was in the last 7 of the last 8 games, he's had 7 touchdowns. The last game he fell off, didn't get as many options or as many looks, and then they're going to be playing a pretty tough game today against the Buffalo, or tomorrow against Buffalo's somewhat okay defense, but they are sustainable to some stuff over the middle a little bit. So I'm kind of wondering, do you think Hunter Henry has a breakout game against AFC East division opponent, or do you think he has a snoozer game and they move somewhere else in their game plan?
13-13. That means what? That's 7 years of games?
Yeah.
They've been coaching against each other?
16, no, 26. You're right. It's 13 freaking years. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
We're all- Oh, I think we's back in live, and I think we actually clean live right now. That's actually
It looks clean.
pretty
Oh, maybe
clean.
Yeah, I did a little something.
All right, so let's get my question through to you guys. Hunter Henry going forward against Buffalo. MIA, take it away.
I like him this week in Buffalo. With Tre'Davious White out, that affected that Bills backfield tremendously. I think they have to make adjustments. Made up 17 different songs. I could drop a whole
written
album.
lyrics for it. I've got lyrics for the dun 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 dun. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we're live again, so
Yes,
everybody got a
sing
piece of
live.
that. I see yous. I see yous. I seens it. I
See
seens
it.
it.
Be live. You're singing hold music.
Dun 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 dun. Bet you wanna make some tendies right now. Bet you. All right. We back. We're gonna try to do this again. I know the minute we start talking, the white circle is gonna come. Doing the skip, it keeps loading me into the chat a half an hour like behind a lot, and I'll come flying into the chat with something, and then 2 seconds later be like, oh, they're not even talking about this. What the hell?
I've seen that. I've seen where.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We brought back.
Oh, there you go.
We'll see how long we stay up for.
And the worst thing is when we're coming back now, it's coming in good.
Yep.
Like it looks really.
Looks clean, it's fast.
I'm gonna have to rethink my ink on this one, man. We might have to plug it into the commercial.
Right.
And,
Oh,
Hey.
getting foggy all of a
My
sudden.
baby back, baby back, baby back, baby
I'm afraid to say Jordache jeans
my
again.
baby
Oh,
back,
it happened
baby
again as soon as I said Jordache jeans.
Oh, rumor has it if ODA put their Broncos hats on, the stream will repair itself. Dude, we got some friggin' awesome people here,
There's
man.
some
I tell
funny
you
people
what,
here.
it was like,
There's some funny people here.
oh, okay, are we back?
Yep, we back.
Okay.
I want my streamy back, streamy back, streamy back, streamy back, streamy back.
Oh,
no! I want my streamy back, streamy back, streamy back, streamy back.
Here we go. We got a quick question. Charles DeBow, Tua or Heineke, Ertz or Godert? Me there, I go Heineke and Ertz. Although I love that Godert matchup in New York with the Jets. Man,
With Gardner Minshew throwing it.
that's the thing. So how do you look at that? Do you look at it like that's going to be Gardner's
Gardner's
safety
a pocket
valve?
quarterback, so he may be able to do better with Godart than a running Jalen Hurts. We don't really know. I don't know how the offense will be called with that new coach. I know how it would have been called with the old coach. But the Sirianni might play him like a pocket quarterback and not do RPOs the whole game. So that could be an interesting little grab for Godert.
It could, but for me, Ertz
is going to get points. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think D-Hop being back, I think that opens things up a little bit more for Ertz. I think Murray. Now that's the other question: has Murray played with Ertz yet, or is that his Ertz one game? Okay,
and he did decent.
And Ertz is, like I said, I think since he's been there, he's shown a lot of veteran leadership. I like Ertz there, and then as far as Tua or Heineke,
yeah.
I look for Heineke to maybe not have a huge day against the Raiders, but it can go one of two ways.
I think Heineke has less mistakes than Tua.
Yes, and I think the Raiders aren't going to try. The Raiders are going to pass the ball. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be they're going to establish the run, but it's not going to be as run heavy. I think as the Giants are going to try to make it with Glennon. With all their wide receivers hurt, I just don't see Tua. I see that being a more defensive game. I would look for Gaskin to have a big game over there.
Yeah, it's true. I'm gonna try to bring Nunya back in. I see him on the screen, so let's see if it keeps us going. Don't say Jordache.
Oh. Maybe I'm not. Hopefully not the spinny jinx.
Oh, sorry. I accidentally brought MIA's camera in there. Switch that. And let's see here.
You got us. Remember, you have us switched.
Yep. All right. I'm with you on the Heineke over Tua for sure. I definitely like the Heineke this week. I don't know if Tua's consistent enough yet that I would feel good about starting him this late in the season. When I'm trying to make a playoff run. Heineke, on the other hand, has shown he's going to produce 250 yards every game, might get you some rushing yards.
They all put a little something. They all like painted a little something on it, like make it individual. Made the Clarendon act up. I actually went to a lady's funeral that had been a mall walker, and like thought it was going to be all
live.
word. Okay, yeah, I'll tell you that one later. Yeah, it's
Okay.
All right. Let's see if this works out with no cameras. We'll try this one more time, guys.
That's right.
Yeah, we're so sorry about this, everyone who has been sticking through. I know there's not too many people watching right at the moment, but we do appreciate anyone who has.
We appreciate the heck out of you guys.
We're going to try this one more time, and if it doesn't follow through, I am just going to switch it back to the crypto stream, and we'll call it a week this week, and we'll see if we can get back together and get you back online next Sunday for sure. We've only gotten through the tight ends today. but we're real sorry. So we'll go ahead and try to finish this up. I know we were all talking about Hunter Henry there against Buffalo. I'll just be real quick and throw it to a Cam Brake question here. He's low score questionable output may make this question seem kind of weird, but with Gronkowski back, I was interested to see how many people are holding Brate and what you're doing if you're holding Brate at this point, knowing that Gronkowski may end up sitting on a bench for the next couple weeks just to be healthy for a playoff run. So, Nunya, you are one of the ones who holds Gronk at the moment. So I was going to shoot this question to you first and see what you're doing with Cameron Brate if you have him on your roster. If not, what would you do moving forward?
So I am a Gronk holder. I'm going to ride him off the rails as long as I can. I do not hold Brate. In my opinion, he's waiver wire fodder.
Okay.
I actually like to hold 2 spots for defense because I stream defense, and depending on how deep everyone's rosters are, I don't have spot to back up everything. So I don't know. I stream defense a week ahead, so I would drop Brate and just hope.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if anybody started Brate, maybe had him handcuffed with Gronk, was disappointed in his performances when Gronk was out. So I think they would have probably replaced him then. But deeper leagues, if you are holding Gronk and that's your handcuff just in case they do sit him late in the season, that's acceptable for me. I'm not going to waste a roster spot with that at this point.
Gotcha.
But I would still be leery and have a second option if Gronk is my go-to.
Great.
Yeah. Or at least find him on a list and have him marked on a quick find list, your watch list or something. That way you can keep an eye on him if he gets picked up or if he's still available in a week that you hold Gronk and you see he's down.
Yeah, the downside of him is what you have in him. So what I look for late in the season, and we'll see this coming up in the next few weeks, is teams that are out of it that start playing, not necessarily surrendering and playing bench players, but giving younger guys
a chance,
more opportunities, seeing what they have.
Yep.
So if I'm looking for somebody to replace Gronk, if they do something, I'm probably going to look elsewhere and look for somebody with more upside.
Boom in Arctic Fox, Alaska. Thank you. Happy Sunday.
Morning, Tom. Boom.
Hello.
Morning, Arctic Fox.
Thank you again. We know we've been having some real big technical issues here for about the last hour, and we all appreciate, all three of us appreciate each one of you guys sticking around, coming back, and just joining in the chat. We appreciate it.
You guys are the best. You stick with us through the bad times, and you better believe when the times are good. Remember that, and appreciate the heck out of you guys.
Definitely. All right, so let's be quick here. I'm going to try to get into wide receivers, and we'll move into that real quick. We'll do a recap because we all know what they did last week. Waddle, 39, Renfro, 33. Patterson came back from injury, had a great week. I'm going to be real quick about this, not really give too much opinion. I'll give you guys a second to discuss one of those three or all three of those three if you want. Anything you saw out of those three, Nunya, that you want to recap on?
I just basically want to say, out of those, I expected out of Renfro pretty much every single week. I think Waddle may be a little bit more matchup specific. And Cordero Patterson, in my eyes, is Swiss Army knife. It's really cool. You can start him at running back. You can start him at wide receiver. I do expect a bunch of points from him generally. But depending on the matchup, he can be kind of...
Really?
Oh, are we back over here?
Looks like we came back.
Looks like we came back.
Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we came back. Looks like we I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
Sports nutritionist is right. Every time we either say matchup or Renfro, it's gone. The trigger word, Renfro, it's gone.
Or Jordash.
Trigger word, Renfro, it's gone.
All right, if everybody can hear this real quick, we're gonna say thank you. If everybody can hear this real quick, we're gonna say thank you. We will see you guys next week. I'm gonna turn it back to crypto stream here. See you guys next week. I'm gonna turn it back. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We'll see
Thank you guys so much for sticking this out, and we apologize. We're gonna see if sticking this out can run a little bit better for you guys. We know how loyal you are and really sticking it out, and that's why we're gonna try to kill this and bring it back up. Triple Echo.